Hello everyone. We are back with Haas, and we're going to continue where we left off last time. We've done well so far, 10 races in. We have a couple of race wins. Let's see if we can keep that up for this session too. Just quickly checking that everything is functioning correctly with the stream. And then I'll get started. And it does seem to be functioning correctly, luckily. So again, let me know if it starts lagging in a bit, because my settings aren't always the greatest. With that said, let's get back into it. We have Austria coming up, and I believe I had everything prepped last time, yesterday, but I'm just double checking it. We got our projects going, we got our manufacturing projects going, and I think that will be okay. Hello, Elliot. Got any tips doing this career mode? What tips are you looking for? Because the thing that I'm doing here is a limited game where I have a few limitations to make the game more interesting over the course of more season. If I'm gonna get 2023 mod, I might. For now, though, I'm gonna continue streaming some Haas, but I might pick it up a bit later, honestly, if need some excitement. That would definitely be something I would do. The side posts have been manufactured. Let's just go to the warehouse quick and make sure that we have everything we need. We actually do need more suspensions, just in case we have some accidents. Underfloor is looking good. Side pods. We don't have any manufacturing capacity, but we do need to make more of those. We rushed too, so we would have them available for the race. Chassis as well. Yeah, we're gonna need to do some manufacturing of suspension and chassis once we get the capability of doing so. The race prep Austria. I think we can do this. I think we should be able to get both drivers into Q2. Magnussen for sure will make it into Q3. And let's go for a bit of a brave one. We still are kind of behind the Mercs. I'd say we are the fourth fastest car on the grid at the moment. At least Magnussen is. So 7 should be doable. Let's gamble. If you're looking for just general tips, Elliot, I do have quite a few guides on my channel how the game works. So again, if there's anything particular you want to know, feel free to just ask, and I'll answer it to the best of my knowledge. Let's get the car set up for practice. And we will be using the worn down pieces for this. Although we are getting into territory where Schumacher is going to have to take another gearbox penalty really soon. Unfortunately. There we go. Now we just need to set the presets, and then I believe we shall be ready. The Austrian GP. There we are. Should be all right. Season 2 of Haas. Second, third best car. Yeah, honestly, you're probably doing pretty good, Elliot, then, if it's one of your first playthroughs. This game, once you learn all the tips and tricks, get actually a bit too easy, unfortunately. So, Duan is a great talent. Bottas is a great driver. I'd say you're doing very, very well. Hmm. 10th. That's a bit worrisome. I think we'll be okay. 85, 80. on the confidence. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's do it like this. See if this is enough. We might need to do something with the front wing angle too. That should be okay for the second practice. And this is fairly understandable what the problem is. This is good all the way out here. I think this should work fairly okay. One tap like so. And let's see. Maybe that would be just enough for Shumi. Hello, Wipe. Your quality pace is poop. Honestly, player input is quite strong, so it could just be that your car is good enough, basically the 5th best car on the grid, but that due to your player input and strategy, you can win. Because let's face it, we have had Magnussen win 2 races this playthrough, but we don't have a car that's even close to the best teams, so it could be a lot of different reasons.
Here we are, back.
Generally though, I don't try hard in quali, so there could be people with better advice than me out there, for sure. I don't want to manage practice. It'll also depend on like what team you are, Wipe, and how far into the game you are. Let's just double check that we are using everything correctly here. Finish on the podium and then start down on 8. A lot of it could also be AI just being bad at changing their engine parts. Because that does have quite a substantial amount of well, I forgot to give Schumacher a sideboard. That does have a substantial amount of effect on your time. Like if I were to run this minor damage ERS, this high damage engine, then I'd lose probably around at least 8/10, probably closer to a second, 1.2 seconds a lap. And the AI will sometimes do that, and they will not take that into consideration, so they can actually start degrading to that point during a race. First season with Alpine, Alonso is carrying Vettel. That is basically what I saw in my like Old Legends playthrough too. That Alonso was the hard carry of those two. Hey Skitty, you've been racing with over 50% weight. Yeah, I would not recommend that. Wipe. It just does such a number on your lap times, because the engines and everything, the degradation, like the gearbox and for your ERS, it has very little impact until you hit the yellow zone. Engine, on the other hand, starts degrading depending on your manufacturer fairly early. I knew someone will do the Canada challenge. Blasted, the goal is to finish Aston during this weekend. I'm halfway through. The next episode should be up tomorrow. And probably finish 1 or 2 seasons streaming with Haas if I sit down at the evenings, because I do have a lot of free time this week in particular. I'll probably be through 1 or 2 seasons by next weekend, so maybe next week will be the goal. That's going to be what I'm hoping for, at least. In terms of this save and past first season, as I said, I want to try a second season because I want to see if the no research clause that I'm using has an effect on making, you know, more than one season a bit more challenging. But bringing out rookies, I'll have to see. It depends on how long the season actually end up being. I might just do this for, if it's interesting, if it's actually a challenging stream where I can have some fun, I might keep it going a bit longer. Long enough that we might pick up a few rookies. I think it's fine to just reconfigure same tires here. Magnus should be safe. He's not that far off Verstappen. I'll just remind myself where the AI is in terms of engine usage. Yeah, Verstappen is running a engine that is losing him a few tenths per lap, at the very least. These are still good. Schumacher, I think, should be safe too, potentially. Alonso had got roadblocked. I don't think we're going to need a second run here in Q1. Fourth times on one of the shortest tracks of the year should be more than safe enough. And yeah, Schumacher is through in 11th, Magnussen 6th. That's what we like to see. Hamilton's also gonna get a penalty, so potentially if we keep this up, we might start right behind the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. That could give us podium potential. Run the first run on Q2 on Scrubs.
Radio check.
Radio's good.
Minus and Schumacher got a little bit too close there. He locked up anyway, so he is gonna need a second run.
Understood.
Well, maybe not, because it was actually in the outlap, so he might actually be okay.
Let's take a look at the replay.
Now that I think about it.
Watch this. There's Schumacher. And this. Yes, there.
Not a huge lockup, so I don't think it hurt his tires too bad either.
And the team had such high hope.
Yeah, he isn't that far off Magnussen, so I think we were okay. Let's just get him set up with fresh set of softs, just to be safe here. Again, I think Magnussen is safe. Potentially. I would think so. So, Schumi is the only one I'm really concerned about here. Yeah, I agree. Rasek looks more like it just ran wide. I am tempted to gamble here for Schumacher. Save another set of softs. Because he has 2 tenths clear here to Tsunoda. Honestly, I'm gonna send Schumacher out again. It's fine. It's like 7% durability for 2 laps. We can live with that. But yeah, Magnus is safe. No need to do a second run. Schumacher's made way too many mistakes. Yeah. Oh. Rick. Could not do. Schumacher in Q3. Verstappen does look up in Bahrain, now that you mention it. It does happen a lot. I guess he's just warming up. Also, if Schumacher could do it on the scrubs, and then we'll do the final run on this. Because I don't think he'll get much higher. Anyways, I think it's better to have 2 fresh softs for the race. Potentially. In Austria, though, there isn't too many chances for a safety car, if I remember. But
Radio's good.
we might get lucky. Yeah, it's still better to do another run, even though... Especially if he is on the cusp like that. Magnussen on a double stinter, just right behind Hamilton. Oh, that's close from Verstappen. Let's use those. And as I said, we're going to gamble for Schumacher and just have 2 sets fresh. I don't think Mag will get front row. I think he will get 3rd row. Because I don't think we have the pace to get the Red Bulls, even with their engines are starting to get low, but not super low. So I think 3rd row is viable ahead of the Mercs for Magnussen. Let's see how this goes. I'm surprised if we got Ocon and Gasly though here in Q3. Magnussen did not improve really. That's unfortunate. We are close though. Like 5,000 to car in front, so 4th row. Hamilton's gonna get a penalty, so 3rd row. Okay, we can live with this. So yeah, 5,000s to Hamilton and then just 700s to sorry, to Russell and then 700s to Hamilton. So not too far off.
It's time for the final.
It's going pretty well, especially considering that we aren't using all our development slots. Well, we're using 2, but we are taking it kind of chill. Let's have a quick look here on how we can expect tires to behave. I'm attempting to make a video where I just take this data here, slap it into Excel, and just get a definite answer on how many laps each compound would be competitive, so to speak. I might do that some other time, because it would be interesting to just see the data. Compound performance, as you can see, softs are supposedly 3/10 quicker. And they will be like that for they'll be quicker for most of their entire life cycle. Same for medium to hard. Basically no time degradation on this track. So let's see if we can do something a bit cheeky. The problem though is that we do have a fairly long pit lane. 27 seconds. So 2 stoppers aren't really viable due to that. But we do have a safety car. Decent chance of a safety car. Potentially. I guess doing a soft to medium would be stretching it quite a bit. We could try soft to hard. That's a bit of an interesting one. Soft hard 1 stopper, yeah. It would be close to 30 laps though, so it's around the time where they would stop being competitive, but it could actually work. And if we have a safety car, we could slap on another set of softs and then do mediums to the end. Something like that. But I guess we'll start with softs. We do have 2 fresh sets. It allows us some freedom of strategy. And I think it could be a fun thing to try. It'll help us get up to the front easier. A podium Nuzlocke? What would that entail? Podium Nuzlocke. I have not heard that term before. But yeah, I think we're gonna just slap them on the same 1-stop strategy here. Even though, again, I feel 2 stoppers are more entertaining. I think the engines are okay. We could use new ones. But since we have decent starting positions, we... Whenever a driver gets a podium, you have to change it. Can't reuse them. Are you talking about the parts in the car, or... talking about these car parts? Or are you talking about the engine ERS gearbox? I'm not sure if I'm following Sloth. But yeah, I think we're fine here with this setup for the race.
We have beautiful blue skies over. The crowd are ready.
Change the driver. Okay, that would be...
the Austrian Grand Prix.
It would require to have some bank.
And away we go.
We'd have to have massive bank saved up if we wanted to try something like that. So I assume our drivers are the only ones on the soft. Yeah, we have hard runners in front of us. So potentially we could make something work. The concern when you're doing a 1-stopper in particular is that pushing the fuel like this will have a small effect on your tires. So kind of risky, but it should still be okay. We're already trying to make a move here on Perez. Schumacher should be making a move on Ocon. He is. I'll really make it work. Once we get here and here, I have an idea. It would definitely be hard to pull off on season 1. It would just be mainly a money concern unless you're just switching out rookies. Which honestly is what you would have to do anyways. Schumacher has made it one spot. Nice to see.
Job, Mick.
Yeah, in terms of tires, we'll have an advantage. In the beginning, at least.
With an overtake. Let's see what happened there. Right, watch this. There's Schumacher.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I couldn't really pick up any talents, it would be interesting to fire up the old Williams save again. Just to test that out. Magnussen is struggling a little bit. Schumacher is making up spaces though. Apparently this option here is kind of cheesy for overtaking, so we'll see if we can do something fun there.
Let's take a closer look. Now just focus
The
on
McLaren
Haas.
save? Potentially I could, yeah. But I think, I don't know if we actually have the funds there either, because Norris is on a fairly costly contract that could be kind of a problem for us. But yeah, it could potentially be an option. We are kind of struggling getting by here too, so see if we can do this, because apparently this just makes drivers overtake easier. I am curious. I guess it works for DRS saves because we're losing by doing that. Okay. Yeah. I haven't really used that too much, so I haven't bothered at this stage. But driving clean air here probably could have worked as an order. We have a yellow flag. There's someone running wide. There we go.
I think there's been a lockup.
Next up here is to have
Here's the
Schumacher
replay.
trying to make moves.
Taking a look again, it involves
Yeah, near the end of the straight.
Sebastian Vettel,
Through.
and yes, that's the lockup.
That also looks like just running very, very wide. Magnussen actually got Russell as well. The question is now, can we close down Sainz? I don't know what happened here because Sainz
Lights on Kevin Magnussen here.
Sainz just gained so much so quickly. I don't think I'll abuse clean air unless like we get stuck.
Is that a new race
To be fair,
position
it's
for
not really
Haas?
abusing, it's just telling your driver to be smart. They should do that. They should do that on their own. But yeah, we're already caught up to
They run
Sainz.
wide.
Verstappen has run wide. This is looking promising. Locked up the steering wheel. Might be. I'm wondering if I should get some energy back for Russell. Sorry, not Russell. Schumacher behind Russell. But lap times, how we're looking. 1:10.4. So we are currently running the fastest lap by far. And I guess Sainz did get held up a bit by Verstappen.
Is that a
I think we'll
lockup?
use a bit
Let's
more
take a
fuel
look at
here.
the replay. Now we
That should
see
be okay.
Valtteri Bottas. Oh, they've lost it. They've locked it.
They just ascended into that corner. Yeah. We are doing well. I think we should just have Schumacher. Again, it makes sense because he's on softs, Russell's on hards. I guess we'll just harvest a little bit and then that'll probably help us.
You're doing a good job.
Magnussen got, well, he got back now.
Charge on.
But hopefully we can hunt down...
It's not over for us.
Not over. It's not over for us. Okay, yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay, nice work.
But yeah, if we can catch Sainz pretty soon here, PM, and then maybe chase down Leclerc, this is looking good. Oh, very well indeed. Probably should have Magnussen also recharge his ERS to some degree.
Charge off. Okay.
We are gaining very, very quickly. They're gonna...
Locked up. Understood, understood.
I felt that crash behind us there. So Schumacher has been turned. He has damaged his chassis again. Destructor's champion. We have front wing damage. I'm guessing what we do here is we're gonna have to pit again. It's so early. So we'll use the second set of softs, and if we get an opportunity, we'll do something later on. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, did I remember to... Yeah, we're going for new front wing. Good. That is fine, because he is doing the right thing. I'm curious what actually happened here, because we heard the crash on Magnussen's side. So, soft, medium. We could put him on the mediums right now. It is a safety car, yeah. I want Mick to just push in and see if we can save a few places like that. But it looks like he's just going to be parked here for a second. Several cars involved. Russell is also parked.
It's a collision! Let's have a look. Now let's look at this. Here's George Russell.
I assume Mick hit the back of Russell. Oh yeah.
Goodness me, that is a serious
And we
collision.
got Perez as well. Okay. Perez is back in running though. Russell is out. This should be a penalty for Schumacher, honestly. Yeah. That is fair. I can't see it happening any other way. Them that they're just playing the bumper cars. Yeah. Honestly, if it had done this a little later in the race, it might have paid off for us, but not gonna help us like this, unfortunately. But it does close us down to Leclerc. It does save us a little bit of tire, so I guess we have our own little crash gate here. Let's see. Standard, push. Let's just stick to neutral for now. As long as Magnus manages to hold his third place, I'm gonna be happy. We can have Mick overtake and push. It's a bit of a shame that he has chassis damage too, though.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Copy.
Yes, this is one of those times where driving in clean air would actually work.
Okay, safety car is in this lap. Safety car is in. Copy. Okay, Kev, no management required, so push as much as you can.
When Mick does it, no one thinks it's a conspiracy. Mick already have gotten 2 overtakes done, one of them on Paris.
Haas
I think
with an
Paris is getting
overtake
back
there.
on him, though. Good old Sunday drive to this corner. But yeah, we didn't get the penalty served, so we're going to have to make some moves there later
Haas
on.
with an overtake.
Great job on that.
Are we going to send Vettel into the gravel zone?
Is that a new race position for Haas?
I think everyone is scared of being in front of Mick. Like, he had a good start to the season. Like, he was damage-free for the first 5 or so races, but the last few, he has just been binning it every chance he's been getting. Car's a little bit too quick for him, maybe. I think this is okay with Magnussen is. Schumacher is making up places, so we might get him back in the points by the end. Barring, of course, that he doesn't do any more standards. Sainz is already a second behind Leclerc. It's really taking names. The fact that he murdered a Merc and a Red Bull is a bit amazing to me, honestly. But honestly, the fact that Sainz is just barely outside of DRS of the car in front is beneficial to us, because that should mean that once we get DRS for Magnussen, he shouldn't have any problems catching Leclerc too. They are running low engines, at least Sainz is. Same for Leclerc. So honestly, I'm kind of sad that I didn't slap in a
DRS enabled.
completely fresh engine here. We have another yellow flag only. Never mind. Mag is very well set up for a win. Mick is very well set up for a DNF. By the looks of things. What has he done this time? Oh. I think we have Paris, Paris round 2. I think we're gonna rename the stream to Austria to start the championship. Because that is basically what Mick's doing. I'm wondering if they add the... Yeah, Mick finished the job. Red flag. Probably. Yeah. That is at least 3 cars in that kerfuffle. What has actually happened here? Okay, so both Astons. Let's see, both Astons. Joe is still running. Bottas has gone shafted. Perez. Latifi is involved. What? I'm interested to see what happened here because the rear wing is gone. So, that's going to be an interesting one.
Let's see what happened there. So this was the Aston Martin.
Because there was a ran wide, and that's... We don't even get to see it. Okay, Mick's out. Rear wing's gone.
And that was a bitter blow for the team.
I think it's the Austria thing, because if they ran wide in that final couple of corners, we have 6 cars now out. 5 in that crash. Because if someone runs wide in that last corner, they will come back on very, very dangerously. And, well, that's not a good thing. Now, we could go mediums and then put on softs if we have another accident, but I think we'll just go softs here and see if we can get a bit of a gap. And we also have almost fresh softs too. So if we have more red flags with safety cars, we can take advantage. Going mediums, they won't last till the end. Going hards would last to the end. But with a 6% deficit in lap time, over the course of 30 laps, I think it's just better to go another set of softs, honestly. But yeah, that was... I talked well of Mick for a couple of races, and he got a little bit big-headed.
We're ready to get this race underway again.
This is now a good chance for other teams to score points.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
A lot of extra fuel. Are we gonna need to burn? Magnussen, can he make something happen here immediately, maybe? Let's see, we have hard tires on Leclerc, so he will probably try and go to the end. I don't even remember what he started on. Well, let's keep it overtake. Yeah, I can get away with mediums later on.
With an overtake.
Oh yeah, look at the speed difference here.
Nice work, Kev.
If we can now just pull away from Leclerc to the point where he doesn't have DRS,
Overtake there.
and Leclerc keeps Sainz behind, we're going to get at least half a second a lap, most likely, in advantage. So that is going to be very nice. Albon with a lockup. Luckily, he didn't take anyone out here. So we already got half a second. Let's see if we can get more during this lap. Oh, never mind. Magnussen. Why do you guys do this to me? And you wait for Albon to... That does cause a bit of a kerfuffle now. We are... How far behind? 14 seconds. Spain without the S? Yes. The fact that Mick gets crashed out, I think actually Mick wasn't the one that caused that final crash, but he could caught up with it along the other 5. But to be fair, we still have a chance here. Most cars are on mediums or hards, so we do have tire advantage now for the beginning at least, and the medium runners for sure are going to have to pit again. So we'll see here. If we get a lucky safety car, potentially another red flag, we can still make something happen. We're doing 110s, so as you can see, except for Sainz here, I think think got pulled by DRS. We are doing the quickest lap time out of anyone. But we are going to struggle catching up to at least the Ferraris. So podium, maybe. If Magnussen does some overtakes with that help. Yeah, Bottas is down. Maybe. Yeah, it's basically just how quickly can we get through the field here.
Now just focus on the Haas.
Don't let Mag hear that, or he'll cause a safety car himself. Yeah. To be fair though, it's kind of risky because we are going to have to rush through the field. So he could probably cause a safety car if he really wants to. Honestly, a little bit too late to start using energy here. But yeah, I think we still have a chance for good points here. It's just a bit unfortunate that our third race win got potentially here just nabbed away due to a lockup. I think we should be fine to just not use energy to get past the McLarens. Oh, Tsunoda for free. We'll take those.
Someone spun out.
Magnussen got Norris for free too. And there we go, Rick. Now it's just the Alpines. Let's see if they do a encore. What happened in Australia, even though Alonso stayed out of it. To be fair, Gasly is up the track, so if Ocon just speeds up a little bit, it is possible. You can see a Haas behind you, and then you just speed up. 9.3, so we're still faster than Sainz out front. Again, they're just DRSing off each other. You can't even see that there's two Ferraris there. We are faster than car in front, 6/10. Gasly had a pretty good lap there, being pulled by Hamilton. But generally, I think we are still looking pretty decent here. But it is indeed a shame. Yeah, it should be within DRS in a lap or two. Tops. Unless they're actually working together now to just run away. They see the Haas and are just like, nah, we need to cooperate here. I'm not streaming on Twitch, I'm just streaming on YouTube to make my life a bit easier. I was planning on just streaming on Twitch, but I thought it would just be easier to just do YouTube streams. Let's see, there we go. Got Ocon. Alonso next.
Haas with an overtake.
Lap time wise, we're still doing okay, I think. There we go, got Alonso as well. And Alonso came back at us, which is not too surprising. I think we should get him here on the straight.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
To make even more money. I don't make too much of streaming or making videos really, so I wouldn't be too concerned. I could probably try and stream both places, but I think that would be a bit too much for my not only my connection but also my computer. Okay, let's see if we can stay ahead now, because we are getting to the point where our tires are starting to kind of give up. If we pit, we're going to come out fairly far back. All our good work would be undone. So we're going to be using these tires for all they're worth. We're in the 10s now. Same as Leclerc, so still not bad. Same as Hamilton. But again, Verstappen is doing pretty good here. And we are kind of pulling the Alpines along. I'm thinking we do deploy and just try and get a little bit of a gap to the Alpines. I'm thinking we go mediums. They should last to the end of the race. Yeah. Just barely outside of DRS. That should be enough to keep us ahead of the Alpines, though. But we aren't gaining on Gasly and Hamilton no more. So let's have a quick look at what we can do. Could run them in aggressive. We could do that, but I'm thinking we do mediums. We're going to come up pretty far back from this 13th. So it's just how things are going to have to be, unfortunately. Running these in aggressive, I don't think you gain enough time. 3/10 over such a short lap to make that work, unfortunately, Seno. It would be the same as running the medium, so normal. We are going to be pushing a lap, though, before we pit, so we'll do one more. Just go aggressive here now to the pit stop. We are getting a little bit of time now, but it's alright.
I think we've had a car run wide.
Out ahead of Norris, that's not the greatest, but just how things be. We will be fine, don't worry about it. All 5 of these cars are going to have to pit before the end. I could go aggressive until the end, but the thing is, the tire difference on this track, it's a very short track, just over a minute.
Oh, we've had a spin.
Oh. That does not look good. We have a safety car. If I'd waited one more lap, things would have been a lot better, unfortunately.
There's been contact.
Crashing involving multiple cars.
Involved. We can take a look now.
Actually happened here.
Watch this.
Norris hit the Alpha. Alpha went wide. And then they hit each other. Okay, so they did pit for the most part. We're still looking okay. Sainz on softs, Alonso on softs. They will last to the end just barely.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
We still have a chance here.
So overtake is available if you need it.
Yeah.
Cover that.
Bunches up the pack. We get the people out of the way. The others that were running mediums. Ricciardo just been in the safety car.
Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
Looks like it.
Look at that.
Running softs. Good maybe, but I think what we're gonna do is just go for the overtake. And that should be okay. Because if we can get past Alonso, there's 3 cars with old hards. What the concern is here is actually Sainz. He's up there on softs. Alonso could overtake more, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what he does.
Safety car in this lap.
Copy that.
Podium seems doable again? Potentially. See what happens there. Honestly, slow things down a little bit. Alonso is kind of falling behind already. And we are gaining. So we might actually just immediately get him here. Might get a second Alpine too, by the looks of it.
Okay, good job, Kev.
Everton versus Spurs. This is starting now very soon.
Okay, so we're P6.
Yeah, Magnus already made up 2 places, which is good to see.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
If we keep this up, podium definitely seems doable. I was a bit late switching there. We also didn't have any energy left, so there was no point. I think we should be fine without DRS by the looks of things, unless Gasly was in front of us. Oh. A wild Ocon has appeared. That cost us some time. We do have a decent amount of energy here, so we could potentially make something happen. There you go.
Okay, good job, Kev. That's 1.
Haas with an overtake.
DRS enabled.
DRS has now been enabled. Hamilton does not have DRS in front, so we're just gonna save energy and see if we can get past him without. Sainz is losing out to Leclerc, which is surprising. They're running about the same lap time. So I guess he just isn't make. Oh. Magnussen, please don't give me more heart attacks. I already got enough from Mick today. And we're just 1 race in. There we go, Hamilton dispatched. Now the question is if we're going to be able to hunt down
You're doing a good job.
the 3 cars in front. I think we will. If worst comes to worst, we'll just
Haas
put
with an overtake there.
him some more energy. But it looks like we are closing in slowly. Losing a little bit down the straight due to DRS. Actually losing a lot on the straight. 7-9, 9-3. So yeah, they are DRSing each other along. We might need to go a little bit aggressive here on the tires, potentially. Yeah, the problem here is they are keeping ahead on DRS, mainly. How are we looking in terms of tire, the real expectancy on real life expectancy? We have a little bit we can sacrifice. Even running aggressive would actually, for the whole stint, would cost us about 3 seconds. No, we'd gain about 3 seconds. No, we'd lose. But still, we can run aggressive for a couple of laps here to try and see if we can close the gap with the help of aggressive and the rest here. Deploy some ERS just to see if we can close the gap. Gonna be the goal. It's a bit of a gamble for sure, but I feel like we kind of have to. DRS is empty though. Yeah, we don't have enough, I think. It's called the Red Bull Ring, but it's for Ferrari. It's a Ferrari track, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the speed to really catch up to them. They're just a bit too quick with the DRS training here. As you can see, this is when we don't deploy ERS. They're just a couple of tenths quicker. It's unfortunate, but that's how it be, because Sainz is pulling them along on fresh softs. Yeah. So it's the Sainz DRS that is keeping them ahead of us, unfortunately. And of course, locking up like that doesn't really help
Let's
either.
have a look. Now just focus on the
Magnussen. Well, you didn't lose your position, so I guess I can't be too pissed at you.
Oh, big lock up there.
But yeah, looking like a fourth. Unless we get some shenanigans here. Not really too much I can do that. Magnussen locks up in first earlier on, and now he locks up and kind of throws away any chance we have of catching up. Very unfortunate. I think we'll be able to keep fourth. Alonso is on a quicker tire, but I think we'll be fine. It'll still be quicker by the end of the stint, but we're getting closer to it. So if we just take it easier to the end of the race, we should be fine. We could even try and have Alonso pull us along. I think fourth is doable here. But unfortunately, that is all we're getting from what was looking very, very promising if it wasn't for driver error.
Alpine just advanced.
Maybe I should let Alonso go earlier, but he isn't really gaining either, as you can see. He's running 6/10 slower than them. But we can use Alonso to recharge, and then we can run away from him. Go back to neutral. We still have 7 laps to go. I could put the tires in light mode, but I'm worried that the gap is going to be too much then. Could do it now, since we have charged our ERS. But earlier I was a little bit too confused. Science must stop. No, Science can do it. Like, that's 55 softs. That's 7 laps ago. The softs only lose 2 to 3% per lap. So you could do, potentially, if you're super cheeky, a soft medium stop here. No problem. So don't worry, those softs are going to last to the end. The hards are going to last to the end too. They pitted on lap 10.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Hello, Edster. I'm doing good. I'm a bit disappointed in this race though. We had Mick bin it twice. We had Magnussen bin it from first. So yeah. I've had better races, but other than that, I'm doing good. Let's see. Put it back to standard. Honestly, I'm not worried about overtaking Alonso. We can get him the last couple of laps. And like that, we get him on basic too. We just need to stay ahead of Tsunoda, and that's not a problem.
Haas with an overtake.
Oh, never mind. That is the third lockup. Now we need to actually aggressive the tires if we want any chance. Mick has gone through 2 parts. No, not 2 parts. 3 parts? I don't know how many destroyed. We'll have to have a look. Yeah, but that's the third lockup Magnussen has pulled this race. And then we get overtaken by Tsunoda.
Alpha Tower regained a place.
Honestly, I'm not too worried about fastest lap right now. I'm more worried about staying ahead of Tsunoda and Hamilton. Mainly. It's a bit too little time left to hunt down Alonso, so if we're going to do fastest lap, we're going to go full deploy everything at the end. But as you can see, Tsunoda is straight up attacking us and causing us some mayhem here.
That's a position gained for Alpha Tauri.
Let's be fair, Razak. Mick lost front wing and chassis on the first crash. On the second crash, I know the rear wing was gone. But looking at the mayhem there, I think more than just the rear wing is gone. Probably everything. So we'll see afterwards. The damage report, so to speak.
Come on, mate. Go for that.
Let's see here what we can do. Final lap. Full attack. Deploy. Can we keep ahead of Tsunoda? Well, 5th. Not the worst thing, seeing that we have binned it several times. It is Tsunoda, but then again, we have Paris out, we have Russell out.
Yeah, Kevin Newton also
bought us out, so
jumped slow.
you take it from that consideration. It's not that big of a surprise. But yeah, this was a bit disappointing. Magnussen had chance of winning here. Lap took the lead very early, then bins it, loses every chance of running away. And as you can see, Ferrari had a one-stopper here. Verstappen had a one-stopper. They pitted lap 10 and the red flag for Haas, and they made it to the end. Sainz lucky there with the safety car. Got on the softs. So, bit unlucky for us all around. 10 points though. We can be happy with that. And Alonso in 4th. It's also something I kind of like to see. Another 6, Gasly 8, which is a good result for Alpha. Ricciardo scoring points for McLaren. Hamilton 8 for Merck. And we don't really have any changes to Driver Championship so far. Looks like Sainz is gunning for the championship for sure. Been on the podium every single race this season. We'll have to see how high we can get Magnussen though. P5 is a very good result considering that we had... considering the mayhem that happened, yeah. We're gaining on Merck though, so that is also promising. Let's see here. A good performance, okay. I don't know if I agree with that. Driver bonuses to Magnussen. Costing us a little bit, but money isn't really a concern for us. New regulations proposed. Let's get breaking up. And can I get a Schumacher has low morale? Huge performance from a Demolition Derby point of view, yeah. Improvements for next game? Yeah, driver champ. I'd like to see a lot of really changes. That is fair. All teams receive the same win, turn on safety testing limits. I'm fine with that. Seeing that we're about to end 4th, most likely that would benefit us slightly. Well, not 4th, 3rd. It would benefit us actually a bit more. Warehouse, let's have a quick look. It received the chassis. One of them was destroyed because we had 3. Front wings, we lost 2. 1 rear wing. I don't remember if we had 3 side pods. Impressively enough, did not destroy the underfloor. Did not destroy the suspension, I think. Very interesting. I think this is mostly just a flavor thing, but I'm fine with just going to accept it. We're exceeding expectations. Post-race debrief. Debrief. We do have the French GP coming up now, and we'll get a new chassis design project done. I think we'll still manufacture that extra chassis just because of Demolition Derby. And I'll have to see what I do in terms of manufacturing the second pieces this season. Engine and gearbox, good point. Probably busted. As I said, Mick would probably need some new pieces fairly soon. R1. Gearbox, kind of broken. ERS luckily didn't suffer. Engine, I think, didn't suffer either, so just a gearbox. Which, it's not the worst thing we could have had happened. Special low stock, I know, we're working on it. Design complete. Let's have a quick look here at what we can do as a new project. So, this is the second iteration of front wing. We've now made 1 iteration of every part. So what I'm thinking is that we just do another underfloor. It's going to be a massive upgrade by the looks of things. And if I wanted to be a bit tryhardy, and seasons, how many races are there in season? 21, 22? I don't remember. We can have a quick look. Round 22. 22 races a season. If you do through the season, 3 races a you get about a season done a week, so 10 weeks, give or take. Yeah. Razak, right now, I was giving Schumacher the benefit of the doubt, but right now he is living up to his the constructor championship rumor. You want to start a new game with Alpha? By Rick and make him world champion? It is possible for sure. You can basically make Latifi world champion. People have done that on Williams, so you can do that. It's going to probably require a bit of work, but you can definitely pull it off. What was I doing? Yeah, I was making a new car part. I think we make an underfloor. If I wanted to be strategic about this, what I would like to do is not wait for more ATR. Can't use ATR on the underfloor due to the rule set. So let's see here. Do we go for high-speed performance? Yeah. It'll take about 10 weeks. 2.5 months to get it done if you do three races a day. But particularly early season though, you can just 16x a lot of the races. I'm playing them a bit slower because I find it interesting. If we focus low speed, it would benefit high speed immensely. Like, this is a huge gain. We can still focus low speed on the front wing. Optimized aero would not really help us too much. Low speed performance. I think we're going high speed performance. And again, what I could do here is just do a rushed approach. It will get us done in 14th of September. Intense approach will get us done in October. I'm just thinking about this from a balancing perspective of the save. Intense does give you a lot more expertise that will carry over, but it would get us there quicker. So let's have a quick look. October versus September on the calendar. 14th. There's actually a perfect month between them. 14th of October versus December. That would give us the Dakota, the Mexican. Give us 4 races. 14th of September would give us Singapore and Japan as well. I think we're going to do it fast because it'll just give us more to play with. The reason why I'm not waiting for CFD and MAU hours, Razek, is very simply because one of the restrictions that I imposed on the save is that I'm not allowed to use CFD wind tunnel hours on a piece until I've used it on every single other piece. So I've used it so far on the underfloor and the rear wing. So until I've used it, I think I'm also using it on front wing right now, if I remember. So until I use it on chassis, side pod, and suspension, I can't use it on the underfloor again. Kind of just, again, one of those things to try and make it a little bit more challenging. I think we're going to rush it. And I forgot to slap an engineer, so we'll actually get in 44 days. So we are going to rush this. And that will be perfectly okay. We'll get less expertise, but for the underfloor, I can live with it. Got a few hundred. Almost 400 Pano. Yeah, I understand. It's honestly, the fact that I couldn't really play for a while probably helped me get my interest back in this game. It's fun for me right now, but I can see that it'll probably wane once I do a couple of seasons with a few different saves. Let's see, we need to manufacture a new chassis. Get 2 of them rushed. They won't be out for the... We'll have 1 for the French Grand Prix. The biggest concern I have right now is actually just keeping up on parts. Honestly. I'm thinking Mick might have to take a penalty in France, so we might use some some other parts just to make that work out, so to speak. We still have front wings, still have a spare rear wing. Let's look at spare suspension, spare underfloor. I guess we're getting the 2 extra side posts manufactured here. We'll do them rush too. Yeah, that's the problem I have too. It's that the game gets very boring because you start dominating very, very quickly. Okay, so we're getting more CFD and MAO hours, or wind tunnel hours next season. Because it gets boring quick, because it's easy to dominate. That's why I'm trying to do a bit more of a challenging setup here. I think it's fine not to upgrade our facilities anymore. Could build a team hub to help with morale. Weekly experience game for staff. I think that might be worth it to get to level 2. But I'll leave the rest of this as is. The qualifying position, 1 driver, top 7. And Q2 for both drivers should be doable. Unless, of course, we have another binning. Going 7, because this race could actually be a good one. Because the AI is getting low on engine. We might be able to pull out a victory here. Having Lando Norris 3 times VDC was fun. Yeah. I think it would be more fun, though, if it was more of a challenge to do it. So I'm hoping for the next game to be a bit more challenging, or at least have difficulty sliders. Make it a bit more fun. I think we're ready to head to France. Yeah. I do want to do like what I'm titled Canada Challenge, but again, I feel like I need to test it so I get the correct difficulty. And right now I'm feeling that what we figured out on the Discord isn't actually enough. We're gonna need more to make it difficult though. 9 season on Haas. That's pretty good. I think I stopped in Williams after, what was it, 7 seasons? So you beat me. Let's see, we have a new chassis for Magnussen. It's actually quite a decent upgrade, you see. 15 top speed, moves him up in a lot of other things too. So that's very nice. Decent top speed upgrade. Let's get on the pieces here for the practice. And let's power through it. I am worried about Mick though. This is going to be interesting. So the engine didn't take that much of a beating. It was 73 before the race. He is kind of running out on ERS. So I'm very happy that this third one didn't get damaged. But the gearboxes are getting it into a big problem right now. We only have one semi-fresh one. So, yeah. Mick is a concern. Do that. Let's just quickly get set up here for Paul Ricard. And we'll get this race done. But yeah, as I said, so far I'm getting the feeling that I might need more restrictions, to the point where maybe just developing each part once a season is what I'm going to be forced to do. And even then, I think you'd be able to win a fair few races like we have been doing. The thing that I want most of for next year's game, or this year's game, edition of this game, is very simply just modability. Because there's so many enthusiasts that will spend hours upon hours to make the game amazing, honestly. Only use drivers from Team Home Nation. All Italian drives at Ferrari, German at Merc. It could make it more interesting for sure. Bottas here with a penalty already. I don't think even if Mick goes all out, we're gonna hit the cost cap, so don't worry about that. I did forget about putting Djokovic in for practice. I need to just start making mental notes about that. See, move you like so. And lags. So there we are. Yeah, the budget cap is kind of a novelty in this game. Like, if you do everything you can to reach it, you can. Like, I've reached it once so far, and that was intentional by just, you know, developing intense design throughout the entire season for all 4 slots. Yeah, mod support keeps games very, very relevant. It just keeps them fresh, because a lot of people have good ideas, and there are a lot of talented people who can make amazing mods. So I was kind of disappointed when I saw this game didn't have any real mod support. Yeah. I'll say what I said when this game first came out. It's a very nice base to work from. They got a lot of they got a decent base to work with. They just need to improve upon said base. Yeah, we're gonna have to just do it like that. So if they use this as a basis, expand upon the systems, it's gonna be a lot better, honestly. Okay, Shumi is not done yet. For the penalty. Of course it isn't. Sorry. Just change the title again because Mick having a penalty here and everything is just, it just bodes well. Bodes very, very well. Yeah, I like Football Manager's done, honestly. To be fair though, the last few years I've kind of been disappointed with FM. So it is what it is. I'm gonna do something stupid and give Mick fresh components. And hope that he doesn't bin it. Yeah. People would just do the copy paste. Yeah, that's fair. Honestly though, just having a copy paste to upgrade the team sheets is not a bad thing. Necessarily. Does still make the game more interesting. I would love to have an in-game editor, for sure. Not even really an in-game editor, a database editor would be sweet too. I would make, like, I would make everyone able to upload team sheets and mod it to some degree. So we're allowed to hope.
Radio check.
But it's gonna be interesting to see how this next iteration is gonna be. I would just like to see more, not really complicated, a more in-depth system of making the different parts, your own team, being able to develop an engine in-house, things like that. Driver Academy or F2, F3. I might just be wishing for too much, but I'm allowed to hope, aren't I? Yeah, copy paste game won't be good enough. That is true. Okay, we're kind of far behind already by 5/10 to Verstappen. Did he get a new engine? He did not, so he can be about a second quicker than us with this type of damage engine. So we're actually still quite far behind, surprisingly. Schumacher, though, being top 4. Well, we do have Paris, we do have the 2 Ferraris. It's a bit surprising. There we go. That's more like it. Yeah. I'm gonna be a bit concerned that we are already at the dominate step once we hit the new underfloor. So we'll see how that plays out for us. I'm not gonna go for a second run here because we won't need to. A full second down to 16th. And if we do get knocked out, it would be amazing. Mick with the made into Q3 with that. Beautiful. So yeah, the AI is starting to get onto the damaged engines at this stage, so we might have a chance during this race. Let's go scrubs. Again, there's no real reason to save 2 sets us off for this, I think, but we will do that.
Radio check.
Just to have the option. I might at least make a bit too soon there behind Magnussen. Hopefully he doesn't get blocked on pit entry. Okay, Magnussen beat out Russell. I think Magnussen is safe. I won't be doing anything to him. We might have to do another run here with Mick. You know, a big hit. Yeah, I think Magnussen is safe. It's going to be Schumacher is the concern. Oh, the preset for the race? Yeah. Honestly, just a driver academy would make the game a lot more fun for me personally. Because, as I've said earlier, I love just developing talent in games like this. Like, I'm not into really cycling or anything like that. But a couple of years back, I played like the cycling manager games just to raise talent because I find the system to be good there. It's not something I've played in like a few years, but just racing talent is fun for me in games. Okay, let's do Scrubs Mick and Magnussen. We'll do the same old here. Yeah, if they announce Driver Academy, I'm going to be looking forward to it. I feel like the system that they have right now, though, is very, very bare bones, where it's just like the only difference between each driver is just the growth multiplier. That would be good too. Making your scanning networks. I just wish, you know, your prioritization of resources would actually have an effect. Because right now, every team is the same in that regard. Okay, so the scrub subs is not going to do it for us. Magnussen is behind Mick. That doesn't happen often. It would be good, honestly. Yeah, regions from FIFA FM would be nice. Rather than regions, new gens would be more interesting. Regions just copy the stats and growth of like older players that have retired. I would like to see just completely fresh players. I haven't seen the FIFA. I haven't played FIFA in forever, so I don't remember how the scanning network works there. But for Magnussen, that's not a bad qualifier. Schumacher 10th though. That's kind of a waste. You kind of wasted a set there, unfortunately. Oh, that's with a penalty. Schumacher does also have a penalty. Look at all these red penalties. So Schumacher should start 13th if I'm not mistaken. 11th, because there's other penalties in play. Question is, should we take penalties here? I think we're okay for now. He's gonna need a new gearbox down the line, for sure. But right now, it's not a big concern. Same pit lane here as Austria, 27 seconds. Good. Softs one will last for more than 10 laps before they're equal to mediums. Mediums will last a little bit longer versus the hards, but I think medium to hard here, if we can do a one-stop, might work. Yeah, I think we're going to do this. It's just safer. Starting on the mediums, and then we can maybe slap a soft stint in here if we have some safety cars, red flags. It's been a lot of them lately. I'm just going to do a very standard strategy for this. Hi, Sherlock. Yeah. The FM scanning system is quite well developed, but that's also because that's kind of what you need in a football manager game, because talent can come from anywhere. My favorite F1 driver, honestly, probably Alonso.
I hope I'm not tempting fate here.
Yeah,
but there are quite
they just need they don't need to go as in depth as FM does, but just having some sort of scouting system, having a bit more of a dynamic road system would be nice. Schumacher got a good start here. Vettel is your favorite driver? Yeah, Vettel is great. Vettel is very, very good. Shame that he has retired now, though. Okay, so
good job.
some hard runners ahead of Mick here. And get some moves done during the first few laps of the race. We might have an opportunity. Your favorite rapper? Kimi was amazing too. Like, Kimi was a lot of fun.
Haas with an overtake.
I'm hoping that Kimi comes back and just does a couple of one-off races. Because his radius was just amazing. The fact that we can just easily overtake Russell there is just beautiful.
You did good, really good.
Yeah. It's just such a shame that Vettel actually retired. Like, I'm happy for Alonso. But seeing Vettel in this car would also be amazing. Honestly, switching out Stroll for Vettel for the first couple of races would actually have been pretty amazing. While he was while Stroll was injured. So we are making our places. It is looking promising so far. Just need to pay a little bit of attention to our ERS, that we don't use all our energy. Hopefully we can keep up with Leclerc. Is Perez on a new engine?
Great job.
Perez is on a new engine. Energy Store will probably survive this race. The Perez is going to be the big problem here. Ferraris are using old engines. We need to get within DRS of Perez ASAP if we want to have any chance here. Mick is making moves. Good. He's up into 8 now. Hamilton next. Yeah, Stroll is going in now. I wasn't thinking of, you know, booting Stroll. I was more thinking like, well, Stroll was still having his hands injury that Vettel maybe subbed in for the first couple of races. Because it would be amazing to just get a Vettel another Aston podium. Magnussen is falling behind here. We'll see what we can do. Schumacher is getting closer to attacking Hamilton, though. Again, do have a tyre advantage here. Hamilton's on hards. There we go. Can we get Ocon here on the straight? Schumacher is running out of energy, though.
DRS is enabled. DRS enabled.
Magnussen's still okay. Stroll being up to the challenge if they really create a title contender car? I don't know. If they create a title contender car, I can see that Stroll still is going to be on the team. But they're going to get a driver like Alonso, a world-class driver, to just be the VDC champion, unless they can, you know, have a kind of babysitter try and help Stroll get the world championship.
Good job.
Yeah, I agree, Parno.
Is that a new race position for Haas?
Schumacher gets Ocon, good. But now we can just leave Schumacher as is. I really am hoping Magnussen can do something here to catch up to Sainz. Fortunately, I don't think we have the car yet to really beat them here. To be fair, if people want to say that De Vries isn't a rookie, then Stroll is definitely not a rookie. Like, people say that De Vries is no longer a rookie because he raced one race last season. Okay, we are catching up now behind Sainz. Can we make a move? Rather than driving clean air, I want to just send it order. Take risks. No risks. Things like that. I think we're going to get Sainz, but are we going to catch up to Paris? It's the big one right now.
Okay, good job. That's one.
We deploy, maybe.
Mode push.
Good with that.
We're just too tense. I'm hoping that we can catch up to Paris and kind of just stick behind him with the help of DRS. Because he has a fresh Red Bull engine in. Now we're already losing time. Let's try for one lap and see where we end up.
Charge on, please.
Copy.
Yeah, I don't think we're catching up to him, unfortunately. But still, we're up in the podium places. If we can keep Leclerc with us here, pull each other along. Again, Leclerc does have a damaged engine, but so does Verstappen. Unfortunately, that means Paris is going to sail off into the abyss here.
Copy.
Yeah. I think for Stroll to fight for a win, it's going to require a kind of uncertain wet race. Because he is decent in a wet. ERS management stat, yeah. They're kind of struggling to actually catch up to us. Unfortunately, I don't think Schumacher is going to catch up to Verstappen. Let's see lap times. Yeah, 6/10 behind. Verstappen running almost 1.2 seconds slower than Magnussen. But we are quicker than all the cars behind, so that's good to see. Yeah. The thing is, though, the wet usually causes chaos too, so that's part of why I'm saying it's probably going to require a wet race. I think we can speed things up a bit here. Magnussen is with the two Ferraris and Verstappen. Gonna probably be a fight there towards the end. Schumacher's just doing his own thing, honestly, and it's working for us so far. Concern is that maybe the DRS train behind him can catch up at one point. Perez has a huge advantage here. He just has a fresh engine, fresh everything. The thing is, Leclerc won't actually be quicker than Perez. The reason for that is very simple.
Ferrari just gained a place.
If we have a quick look here at Perez,
Let's take a look at the replay.
just watch the replay
Watch
first.
this. There's Leclerc.
There we go. Yeah, Mick running on his own is kind of safe. If we have a quick look at Leclerc, you can see he's running an engine that is damaged, like quite a bit. So this is going to slow him down by probably more than half a second a lap. And if we have a look at Perez, he has slapped in a fresh Red Bull engine. So he's going to be quicker just by virtue of that, unfortunately. Magnussen is losing out to Leclerc though. That's actually a bit concerning. What happened?
It's a yellow on the pit straight.
Let's take
Signs for the spin, okay. Did that slow us down? No. I'm pretty surprised that Leclerc is this quick, even with a damaged engine. I don't think we're going to be able to catch up, though, even if we try. I might have run time a little bit too quick there, unfortunately. Yeah, I've thrown. Yeah, but he does have a bad engine. It just proves how fast the Ferraris actually are. Like, imagine Leclerc on a fresh engine. He would be even ahead of Perez. And Leclerc is a pretty good driver, so that too does help. So even on bad engines, they are going to be faster than us. So that should tell you quite a bit what you can expect from this game. I guess we're going to have to use Verstappen then, if we're going to try anything like that. But yeah, I didn't think Verstappen... Sorry, not Verstappen. I didn't think Leclerc was actually going to just be able to get away from us like that. Well, that's my bad. I might have underestimated how quick they were, even with the damaged engine. Now, if Verstappen overtakes us, we'll slow things down again. I think we can fight for a podium, potentially, here. Gonna depend on Magnussen locking up or not, unfortunately. Let's see here now if Verstappen manages to pull ahead.
Red Bull moved up.
Kinda is. Close down on that DRS zone. Want to see everyone's tires? Just give me a second here. I want to see if we can keep up with Verstappen. Might need to burn some fuel and regain some ERS to make that happen, by the looks of things. The tires. What about equal? Our tires are still looking okay for the others. Top here is all mediums. Hello, Kieran. But yeah. We're just lacking a little bit here to keep up with the Red Bull on this track. We don't have the cornering stats we need, I think, because we're just losing out a lot in the corners. So it looks like maybe a P5, P6, potentially. It'll depend though, we could potentially get a lucky safety car. Nice, I'm glad to hear your exams went good. So for now, I think we're just going to leave things be and hopefully get a maybe potentially 5th and 6th there. Hamilton has caught up to Schumacher though, so the mediums are starting to kind of give in here. We'll see what we can do. Yeah. Gonna be rough to stick with the top two teams. I think they were afraid of making Smoothness too powerful, so they just made it too weak as a result. Unfortunately, Pano. Yeah. Like, it was like 50 smoothness versus 100 smoothness was worth like a lap or two of extra usage of the tires over the course of a race. So not great or anything like that. So Sainz is now taking us, which is not the greatest, but not much we can do about that. We are getting close to the end of the life cycle, and we do use less tire wear than we expected. I thought Mick crashed there for a second, I'll be honest. But yeah, we're entering our pit window. Honestly, P5, P6 isn't bad, but I would have liked to aim for more, especially seeing that they're running worse engines than we do. Honestly, the reason why you have worse tire wear than others, Kieran, is probably because you use the engine command. Push does have an effect on tire wear, even though it doesn't say so. You will use slightly more tire. Schumacher has been overtaken by Hamilton. Let's see if we can keep up with Hamilton. Attack the tires? Probably could. I think we'll run aggressive rather than attack at this stage for a couple of laps. Attack just takes too much out for it. But yeah, mainly our weakness is just we don't have good enough turning for all these sharp turns. It's very, very little. Like, if we have a look at Magnussen, it's 2% versus Leclerc, 1% versus Perez. So it's 1 to 2%, but over the course of a race, it does, of course, have an effect. I don't think running the engines necessarily in a higher mode has a higher chance of crashing, but I could see running
And okay to push,
a more aggressive style on the tires could have an effect on that, honestly. We're gonna push, see if we can maybe jump lines, but I doubt that because we do have a pretty shit, pretty bad pit team, and we're gonna just get Mick in here too, I think. Our pit stops are not great, let's put it like that. Leclerc, Verstappen pitting. Sainz will probably be pitting next lap then. Stop time 3.2 seconds. Probably one of our better pit stops, but it's still not great. And let's tune down the tires a bit here. We could try and run aggressive here, see if we can catch up Sainz. And 3.3 from Mick. So they are getting a little bit better. We were used to about 3.5-second pit stops earlier. Schumacher, pass around him. See, it would be Hamilton, Russell. Probably run one aggressive lap here. See if we can get it. Yeah. I'm just going to run one aggressive and see if we can close down to the Ferrari and maybe latch onto him. That's going to be the goal here for Magnussen. I don't think we'll be able to, honestly, but we can try. Sainz still not pitting, so it's fine. Never mind, Magnussen is not making this work.
Here's the replay. Now just focus on the Haas.
It's better to focus on, I believe, their jacks in order. It's a bit of shame here for Magnussen, though. We lost one position on the spin, so not the worst thing ever, but the time loss is going to be painful. Driver errors are a bit of a concern at this stage. Now, I'm using balance because it's more of a, it nerfs the pit stops. But if you train for specific things, you'll probably have better luck, honestly. The Sainz is safe. We are gaining quite a bit of lap time here. Good market we can tune down to. How far are we? Hard runners, Hamilton. They'll come up behind us for sure. And if we push here, get past Norris fairly soon, we might be able to do something. We will have to see. Might have to just go save it for a couple of laps. There we go. Tune down fuel, 0.5 kilogram is kind of the limit of what I want to risk. But now we can try and hunt down the car in front, Alonso, Verstappen. I would assume you gain pit stats, honestly. I would assume it works the same as expertise, where like it takes a percentage of your maximum. So that's also why I think focusing a stat is better. Or focusing 2 stats. Like the 2 stats that are the biggest gain. But we can have a look at it after the race. In terms of pit stats. Tsunoda with a spin. Let's see, what, again, ahead of us. How many are going to have to pit? Sainz is out of, like, we can't get him. At least 4 or 5 cars, so we're not in the worst position. If you use Hamilton as a reference, we should maybe be able to jump in the pits. We might need to gain a little bit more time. We will see. Magnussen is catching up to Alonso, though. He's almost within DRS. I think we recharge for a lap or 2 and then we push by. Or we might even just do that right now. There we are. Very simple. So there is 7 seconds ahead. I don't think we're getting Verstappen. Hamilton has pitted. He's now behind us by a decent margin. He will be on medium tires though. Keep that in mind. Fuel range low. I think we'll be fine. Don't need to be too concerned about that. Kinda need to get Schumacher 2 here ahead of Alonso. We don't have a lot of energy, but I think it's enough to just push by. Yeah. So, Hamilton could be a problem here because of the tire difference. Russell's pitting. Gasly should also pit fairly soon, as you can see. So yeah, we'll have to see what we do in terms of Hamilton. He'll be quicker for a few laps, and we'll probably be equal towards the end. If Mick can keep him at bay, we would be very, very happy. I'm wondering if Gasly is going to go on the softs at this stage. Because he has delayed his pit stop by ages at this point. Let's have a quick look here. He actually did go on softs. I know your fuel range is getting low, but you're gaining about 0.1 per 5 laps, so you should be fine.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Hamilton has overtaken Schumacher, so we kind of need to try and stick with him, but we just don't have the energy. I think Bottas has even overtaken Schumacher, and Hamilton there ran wide or something.
Oh, did someone run wide there?
Yeah, Hamilton did. That's actually good for us. It's a shame about Schumacher though. You always overpower the AI with strategy. Yeah, I probably should play this one a bit slower to get a bit higher up in on the board, but I think it's fine. Bit of a shame here about Schumacher though. Just doesn't have the same pace as Magnussen. Your fuel range is fine. Don't worry about. Yeah, Schumacher is actually getting left behind, which is very unfortunate. Bottas just hitched a ride. Schumacher was unable to. So yeah, we are lacking a bit in the turning department, unfortunately. We need to be better in the corners. Magnussen is looking good though, so I guess we can be happy with that. The concern now is actually Ocon is kind of catching up. He is on mediums. So we'll see what we do with that. I usually just use overtake and push the fuel to about half a kilogram deficit. The thing is, running aggressive on tires is something you can do. If we have a look here. Like, if I were to tune the tires up to aggressive, it would cost me about 4 extra seconds. So running aggressive to overtake someone who's slower than you, I say that is more than worth it. But running it over the full stint is just gonna be negatively impacting you. You can also start the race with a leader less. That works the same, honestly. Maybe I should be testing that if pushing fuel or starting the race with less fuel is the better strategy.
Alpine just advanced.
Alpine has overtaken Schumacher, so I was a bit too hopeful there, maybe. But it looks like Magnussen will be fine. I think 3 seconds. Same amount of laps shouldn't be an issue. Can't tune Magnussen up to aggressive now, see if we can catch up to Ocon, but I kind of doubt it. He's just... Sorry, Schumacher. He's just a bit too slow. Sorry, that's not Schumacher.
I'm sorry.
Ah, never mind. He,
I don't know what just happened. Yep, understood.
he spun.
Did somebody spin out there?
Yeah, that's Schumacher out of the points, unfortunately. Yes, Magnussen is going to be our focus here. Just running to aggressives. Honestly, we don't even need to run aggressive. We can just run standard. Yeah. Push to play and attack for 1 lap is probably alright. Hamilton 2 seconds. I think we're just barely safe there. Yeah, Schumacher is a bit too... I was about to say he's a bit too unreliable, but then we remember K-Mag with his Austria performance. They're both kind of unreliable at times.
Checkered flag.
Honestly, man, the car was...
So 5th place for us. I guess we have to be happy with that. Perez won by 12 seconds, which isn't that surprising. But it does seem like Ferrari still has quite the faster car, all things considered. Another pointless race for Mick, yeah. Unfortunately, Kevin 5th though, we can be happy with that. Bottas making up 13 places from last place is kind of impressive in an alpha. The best strategy for Miami, in terms of tire strategy, I don't honestly remember, unfortunately. No changes to driver standings. Ocon moving up though. Constructors, also no real changes. We've got the same amount of points as Merck. Mick with Hulkenberg. I think it's fine though. Like, we have a new underfloor coming soon. That'll be more than enough to put us on the map, so to speak. The only concern I have with Mick is that we're gonna have to take penalties. I just don't know where. Belgium, maybe? Because we do have summer break coming up now, don't we? Yeah. Weather center upgrade. Factory upgrade. When are we getting that new front wing? Sorry, not front wing. The new underfloor. 34 days. So that would be what? End of August? Okay, so we're not getting it for Belgium. We're getting it directly after Belgium. I guess we could take penalties in Belgium for Mick. We do have okay, like, top speed. Not bad. We have a board review. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. Helipad refurbished. Pretty straightforward. Chassis manufacture completed. I think we're going to just slap on another set of... Start another manufacturing project for the chassis. We have side pods getting done too. Let's just manufacture 2 more. We're going to rush them. We, again, don't really need to be too concerned about money in our current stage. Need to make a side pod, a rear wing. I think we're actually making side pods, so that will be... Yeah, there we go. And I believe we also need some suspension. Yeah. Let's get a suspension made. Just do it normally. Side pods have been manufactured. Very nice. Race prep for Hungarian. Not one of my favorite tracks, I'll be honest. On top 6. Although that is maybe risky because we can have a lot of cars on new engines. So we might just take penalties for Mick here. We'll have a look at the during quali. We might even take penalties for Magnussen too. Now that I think about it. We will have a look. Once we get into the race weekend.
The Hungaroring is abuzz with excitement as Formula One returns to Hungary for another round. We first came here in 1980.
It is a horrible overtaking track, that's the thing. But is it going to be wet? Nah, just Saturday. But the reason why I'm thinking that we just take penalties here is straight up because we're going to get front wing for Belgium as an upgrade, and we're going to get underfloor after Belgium. So I kind of want to just get the penalties out of the way so we don't get them later in the season when we have a better car and have more chances of victory. So that's basically the mindset. Also, we'll have to see though. We might just wait and do it at Belgium. I am a bit undecided still. I'm thinking we see in practice if every other car around us is on fresh engines. I'm thinking we take the penalties just strategically here, even though we might be giving up a lot of points by doing so. Let's see, that's set up correctly. Let's get the car set up Hungaroring. There we are. Let's get through this practice. Yeah. Leclerc's taking penalties, Verstappen taking penalties, Perez taking penalties. Okay, we might just not do anything for Magnussen then, because if he can qualify high, we might be able to make something work. I once again forgot about the fact that we have a reserve driver who's just sitting there, wondering when I'm going to remember he exists. That might be good. 27, we can just let the AI try and figure that out. That's also one of the other reasons why I want to take my penalties early, because later on in the season there's going to be so many penalties for the AI that we might get some free poles. That is the idea, at least. Alonso wins and Max retires. Alonso will lead the championship. Yeah. Alonso's what now? 3 third places. Verstappen has 2 wins, 1 second. The opposite for Perez. Gonna be a lot of per Alo this season. Yeah. I think it's fine. Let the AI figure it. We are so close to where we want to be anyways. So yeah, let's get the quality out of the way here. It's going to be light rain quality too, so that means we could have some fun there. Yeah, make the fresh engine. Because again, if he crashes once more, we are going to take a lot of penalties. It's just how things be. P1, P2, and P5, yeah. I don't know why I automatically thought that the Red Bulls would be 1-2ing every time. I forgot about the fact that he was struggling quite a bit here in Australia. Probably just a little bit too focused on the game, Kieran. My bad. Let's see, Matt. Let's see if we can get through qualifying safely.
Radio check, Kevin.
Okay, so no rain for Q1.
Radio's good.
I think we should be fine with just 1 run for both our boys. Kind of roadblock Bottas there. Oh, are we good? Hamilton just barely beat us. Crash on track. like Gasly's out. That's gonna sting.
There's been a crash. We can take a look now. Now look at this. It's Pierre Gasly. Oh, a nasty crash there.
That was kind of nasty. See. Signs. You have replaced your engine. Okay. How about Hamilton? He's still running old. Russell has replaced his. I would assume since there's penalties to Leclerc and Verstappen that they too have changed their engines. We'll have a bit of a look. They finish a lap? Yeah, Verstappen has changed his engine. Leclerc has also changed his engine, so that basically makes it very, very difficult for us to get anything in the top 4, maybe top 5 here. Because Hamilton's running old, but he might change it for the race. Nah, he won't. I think about it. I don't do that. But Russell is running fresh set, so that's the reason why I'm thinking we take penalties here or in Belgium, because it will make our life a bit easier then. Once they are with their engines again. If we had a top car, we could just take penalties whenever the AI's engines start running low. Okay. But as I said, I might take penalties for Mick here, depending on where he finishes in Q3. But I'm thinking we give Magnussen a go. Okay, we're going to start on Inters. 1.62 light rain. This could get interesting.
Ready to check, Kevin.
Radio is good.
It looks like to us it's raining.
We are getting dry potentially here towards the end for the final run. So that's going to be a bit interesting. Sign's kind of being a roadblock here, but we can live with that. Track is now dry indeed. It is now wet again. But yeah, we are gonna... I think it's fine to use the scrubs for this. And we'll try and get them out on a run towards the end. Although we already have a pretty bad run so far. So... I probably should have sent them out again on the Inters. We will see. Because I don't think the track will dry out enough at this stage. Yeah, I sim practice. Mostly just to save time though. And because it doesn't really matter practice. The AI has some pretty good rules there for tire usage. It's not going to get dry enough that we can use scrubs off, so we're going to have to sacrifice another set of Inters for sure. Let's see. Question is, if we're running in the back here is actually the correct choice, because it's kind of a weird one with water. I think we might have just lost out in quali. Or are we just barely gonna make it? Schumacher lost out. Just barely, unfortunately. Should be able to move up though, since Fernando Alonso's taking penalties. And the last quali here is also going to be Inters. To be fair, we should be fine with using all our Inters. Although I'm uncertain on the rules if I use too many Inters in quali.
Ready to check, Kev.
Radio is good.
The setup confidence is usually between 90 and 100. So the setup confidence isn't a concern, even if skipping. Because it isn't random, it's the same every time. So you can use presets. But you have to plot them in manually, but basically the preset for each race is the same for every driver. We're just very slow here on the... You can see we're a second slower in quali versus the fresh engines. So that's one of the reasons why I want to take penalties here. I'm not going to bother with another run. We did lose out though. I should have done another one. Oh, we lost out hard. That's my bad. It's gone 20-1 with Bottas. Haas season 2. That's pretty good. Yeah, the thing is, the AI will use whatever setup you give him with slight changes. So, if you just Google the F1 Manager setups for all tracks, you'll find like a spreadsheet that lets you know what's a good starting point for every single track. Sorry about that, I just hit my microphone. Hope I don't broke any ears. But yeah, I made a mistake with quality. I should have sent Kevin out again.
Welcome to...
Okay, I think we'd take penalties for Mick here because he just doesn't have any parts left. Softs are also generally, as you can see, almost worthless. There's just less than a tenth, like just 600s between softs and mediums, and they're gonna lose that advantage over just 2 laps. Medium to hard is a little bit different, but over 3/10, almost 4. So they'll be generally faster for their entire life cycle. Yeah. It's one of those things that do make the game too easy. I could agree with that. So for the next race, I can just do it randomly. But the thing is, I remember most of the setups even without a cheat sheet at this point. So it does matter. As you can see, yeah, we had 98 on Schumacher, we had 95 on Magnussen. But it's mostly just a time-saving thing. We are starting fairly high up, though, 7th and 5th, without penalties. So I am a bit unsure. I think, as I said, we'll take penalties for Schumacher anyways. Simply because I kind of have to. According to this, it's half a second slower. Is it lying to me then? It could be. Let's just get some of the other things set up. But I think we're gonna have to take penalties. If we either take penalties here, we take them at Belgium for both of them. I kind of want to though, because we are starting fairly high up. You know what, Mick? I'm gonna give you a chance here. Prove that you deserve this opportunity. In theory, this is quick. So how are we looking in terms of hit time here? 22 seconds. We could try to stopper again. Start on the softs, but that is going to require us to get by everyone that's in front of us, basically immediately. We could do a reverse one here, where we start on the hards. And then we go mediums. I think we're going to do that for Magnussen. That we do hard to medium. Then we do this. Penalties is mostly, Kieran, when we have a lot of accidents. Schumacher's been in quite a few, unfortunately. Magnussen also has had a couple. I think this is acceptable. We will take the penalties at Belgium, where it is supposedly easier to get by. And we won't have the underflow for Belgium anyways. So we won't have the massive top speed. We will gamble on it being difficult to overtake.
Quite a few crowds. And
I am
here
a
we
bit
go with the Hungarian
flimsy back and
Grand Prix.
forth with my decision making. Sorry about that. Okay, I see some reds, mostly yellows,
Away we go.
and only one hard runner. when it's a Ferrari track. Yeah, if we can have Schumacher make some moves immediately. We kind of need to with these softs. I don't want to let Schumacher by, honestly, if Magnussen can't make moves. So we'll see if we can make something happen here.
Haas with an overtake.
Go a bit aggressive here on the first lap, gamble a bit.
Kev, if you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy that.
Is he gonna get Hamilton? Yeah. See if we can get Russell too. I don't want to gamble
Okay,
the
good job,
softs
that's
away
one.
by going aggressive on them. They do the great fairly quick here. But we can gamble the hards just to have a little bit of an
That's a
advantage.
new race position for Haas.
Doesn't look like Schumacher. He might get. Ah, he's a bit too far back. Give Magnussen one more lap, see what he can do. Bottas in second though, that's kind of impressive. I think that means Sainz is gonna run away. Just doesn't have anything to hold him back. We are still lacking in the corners though, unfortunately.
Yeah, good job.
Magnussen did get Russell there. I think we're going to tune him down a bit. Just have him stay here, basically. Schumacher has gotten Hamilton, so now it's just the other Merc.
Mega job, mate.
We are running kind of low on energy here, so he'll get this straight as a chance, and then we'll tune down Schumacher too.
DRS is enabled. DRS is enabled.
Tune down Schumacher a little bit, maybe recharge. Magnussen is falling behind Bottas though, so that is a concern.
Mode push.
Copy.
Kind of need to try and hold on if we want this hard strategy to work. Hopefully we can catch up by the DRS zone. Might just need to have Schumacher push ahead here. See if he can get him past Russell. The sort of reverse strat seems like it might bite us in the ass here. Let's see if we can get Schumacher by Russell on this lap. And then we're just going to team order him past Magnussen and see if we can use the soft tires to catch Bottas. don't think we're getting it this lap. We just don't have enough energy. Maybe if we use everything on the straight, but then we're gonna still have to recharge for a little bit. That's gonna give Bottas time to run away. Unfortunately not happening. Russell overtaking us though could actually be beneficial. Get a little bit of harvest going, Magnussen.
Charge on. Copy.
Harvest in a few corners here. Gonna aim at this being enough.
Charge off.
Copy that.
Speed things up a little bit here. Because currently we don't really have much we can do. Like, Magnussen doesn't have the speed to catch up to Bottas right now. Which is impressive in its own right. And Schumacher is kind of getting in a bad position due to the tires right now. Him being on the softs. So we'll have to see if we can maybe do something. But the DRS is keeping Russell safe. So there isn't much we can do. We might have put the Schumacher on a strategy that is going to be bad for him.
Mercedes moved up a place.
Yeah, Russell overtook Magnussen. He's already falling behind again. Kind of dangerous to use team orders to let him by. Because we have Verstappen, Base, and Leclerc, and Perez just waiting to attack. Letting Mick by is probably the best thing here. Let's see if he holds on to his position too. Oh, he really slowed down. The wolves are coming. Let's slow Schumacher down a tad here.
We need a back off. Copy.
Just so that we can give Magnussen DRS. I need to slow him down even more.
Okay, back off. Copy.
Hopefully he can get within DRS before the zone, otherwise he's gonna get eaten up. I think he was too far back there. Oh yeah, Magnus is about to get eaten. We can run Schumacher back to normal then.
Okay, Mick, let's just put our head down. Copy.
I should let Schumacher run away.
So we're P6. Just keep concentrating.
Yeah, that was another bad move by me. Unfortunately,
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a
because
place.
right now Mick is just pulling the others ahead instead of pulling Magnussen ahead. I should have been more decisive in the beginning. This race is already a disaster. Useless things? I feel like a lot of them are actually useless and just there to eat your money. For instance, the factory, which should actually be super important. I feel like it's enough to just upgrade it to, say, level 2. So you can have 3 manufacturer projects going at the same time. But again, it's a preference thing, for sure. I can go through that. I forgot about going through the pit crew last time, but can do it this time. Yeah, Schumacher just doesn't have the speed to keep up to the cars in front on their fresh engines. We were overly optimistic. We are kind of holding up Verstappen though, which is actually pulling Magnussen along, which is beneficial for us. But it's not great. Can go aggressive for a few laps if for Schumacher, maybe.
Okay to push.
Check lap times. 24.3 versus 22.8. 23s. It's not great. Magnussen is also kind of getting held up here now. 23.6, that's better, but still not great. But again, that's not really much we can do. Cars around us are just a little bit too quick on fresh engines. Let us get on to Zahads. The surprise here is Bottas, honestly. But I think Sainz is pitted, yeah, he has. So it's going to be interesting to see what Bottas ends up by the end of this race. He's kind of the wild card at this point. With maybe Russell.
We've just had a spin.
In Schumacher before I forget. But yeah, this is going to be kind of interesting, potentially.
Haas with an overtake there.
Schumacher overtakes Norris. Okay. So he is making it back into the points, but again, he's going to have to pit once more. So, might have been a bit too hopeful on the strategy.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
We are about to lap Latifi, though. So we can push fuel a bit more.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Push it a bit more for sure. Hamilton is pitting. Okay, Hamilton's doing he's now gone on the hards, yeah. I'll have to see if we can catch up this gap once we go on the mediums. It's gonna be tough. They are basically a pit stop ahead of us at this stage.
I think there's been a lockup.
We could try and use Bottas. Just sacrifice maybe a little bit. But it's gonna be rough no matter how we do this, honestly. Because again, we're lacking turning. That's our current biggest weakness. And we are kind of holding Bottas up right now, so we could maybe harvest a bit, let him by, see if we can get the RS to take advantage of. But nah, that zone is just massive. We need to let him by in the second one. That's on me.
A position gained.
I just don't know how to play on Ring apparently. We are going to be pitting fairly soon, though. Then we'll have to see if we can make something out of this. Schumacher is doing okay. It's not great, it's not terrible. He might be in the points this time, even though we're going to pit him again. But Sainz already having more than a pit stop save of Bottas is quite something. But we are in DRS with the Red Bull right now. Well, we were for half a lap. Let's just go full attack here, push a bit of fuel on the in lap.
Come on, Kev, you can do this.
Copy.
Let's see if the mediums will allow us to make our way back up to 6. We should come out actually maybe right behind Schumacher here. We will see. Okay, we came out between the Alpines. So, not the best place we could have come out, but still, it's acceptable. We can push a bit of fuel. See if we can make something happen. But yeah, Bottas is like a big wildcard here. He's doing very, very well. Magnussen already made it past Ocon. Good. Now it's getting Mick. And again, Mick is going to need to pit up once again. No matter what we do. Those lap times, Magnussen is doing well. He's actually running the fast lap time except for Leclerc. So if we can keep this up, we might catch up to some of them, but not, again, the Ferraris and the Red Bulls. They're just too quick. Russell is also going to be a challenge to catch up to. Hello, Kieran. I've been completely bottling this race so far. Unfortunately.
All the pushing you can get. Okay, copy.
Go mediums to the end. The experience gain is nice for the staff facilities, because it's passive experience gain. Like, it's a weekly set one. So it helps if you are leveling your staff, so to speak. So it's nice. It's not critical, but it's nice. I don't think we're getting Russell. We'll have to see what we can do here with Schumacher. He is hunting down some hard runners. So we'll see. Magnussen gaining about 0.6. Maybe could happen if we're lucky. The money, if it's worth it. Crash on track, okay. This is a safety car. Tire slightly overheating.
Sounds like there's been a crash.
Show has crashed.
Let's have a look. Now let's watch this.
I'll have a look at it afterwards, but Kieran, again, just remind me once the race is over, please, because I do tend to forget things like that, and it's just that I'm forgetful. It's not really that I'm ignoring questions that are being asked. I think they're worth it, especially once you just start to get most of your upgrades out. Because the big concern with upgrading something to maximum is that it does cost a decent amount of money every month in upkeep. I think Schumacher can get Hamilton at least. But yeah, Magnussen getting Russell is going to be a bit of a challenge. It's going to require some help. Gaining about 6-7 tenths a lap. Get 14 laps to go. So yeah. Upgrading them to like 3, maybe 4 early on. Probably not worth it, but once you start to get most of your facilities to a higher level, then I'd say it's more than worth it too. I also see no value in the boardroom. There's a lot of facilities I just don't see a value investing in, personally. Can you make a gap on Hamilton? You can. Nice.
Let's see what happened there. Now just focus on the Haas.
Got him on the straight and then ran away with the second DRS. Very, very good. Even if we pushed it, the thing is we can't push the tires because that wouldn't last to the end. Unfortunately, no matter how much we want to. 7 and 8 is not really what I was hoping for with the where we qualified starting positions, but like Bottas has been a bit of a surprise. Russell, sure, but it's not much. I don't think we could have done too much different. If I managed to latch onto the DRS train earlier, Magnus will probably be ahead of Russell at least. But other than that, I don't think we've made too many huge mistakes here. Can try and push a little bit of fuel, but again, it's just 4 or 5 laps left. So even if we push, we're not going to catch up that. Same for Schumacher. So we're just going to run to the end. We're just gonna have a quick look at the facilities and I believe it. I'm unsure if it was you, but someone asked about the what you should focus about for your pit crew. So I'll just have a quick look at that before I start the next race. 7 and 8. It's not great, honestly. It's actually pretty bad, but it's 10 points for us, and I think we once again equal Mercs on the points here. You were both, yeah. That's what I thought. But I wasn't too certain, so I didn't want to say anything too certain. So as you can see, Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, all with fresh engines, just blaze through the field. No chance for us to do anything here, really. Bottas was a bit of a wild card here. He did better than expected, honestly. And Russell kind of beat us here. So we are still fighting for 3rd and 4th in terms of the fastest car. But yeah. It's going to be a rough one for Belgium too, I think. But after that, I think we're going to be a lot more competitive. Decent amount of development, I think, for both here. Unfortunately, forgot about Drogovic again. I need to just get a post-it note, put it above my screen. We did hurt here in terms of our performance guarantees, unfortunately, because of the wet quality and my stupidity. Yeah, board is happy with me. So I'll be happy. Score podiums in 25% of the season races. We might actually finish that this season, potentially. Let's get that point into braking, where we like to put them. And in terms of staff here, the pit crew. Balance is what we usually do. Well, it's what I will do here because it's challenging. Front and rear jack will lead to a large reduction, as you can see. So having this high does benefit you a lot. Tire changes, moderate reduction. Basically, it's not as powerful as front and rear jacks. This will help you though if you do practice manually and change your setup during practice. Same here for wing. To be fair, when you already have lost a wing, you're kind of screwed anyways. So I still value front and rear jacks way above it. And the car release, again, it has a small reduction all pits sometimes. Mistakes, of course, does delay them more, but keeping front and rear jacks 10 points above tire, and then tire 10 points above car release, it's good to me. Or you just focus these two stats. That works out to have decent pit stops. In terms of the facilities, we can start with the car development ones. Again, factory. I think level 2 factory is more than enough. It does have quite a high upkeep. Design center, you do want to max. It's your #1 goal. Your wind tunnel and your CFD are both valuable, so I'd upgrade these as well. They do basically the same thing. The suspension sim and the car part test center just affect cooling. Like, the brake cooling is nice, but honestly, I would not focus on these in the early game at all. Start facilities, team hub, and race sim. Race sim gear be your driver's experience game. Why you should upgrade your design center is very simple. Your design center decides how many projects you can work on at once. Our max level is 4. That means that at any given time you will be able to develop 4 of your 6 parts. And it also gives you more engineers to a potential 20 engineers. So your design center is the biggest gain in terms of developing your car. It is far more important than anything else if you are just looking for car development. I have limited at level 2 just to give myself a bit of a challenge. Again, the staff facilities, the team hub. The main thing here is the weekly experience gain. Same for the race sim, weekly experience game. Don't worry, Kieran, that's fine. I wouldn't really upgrade factory past level 2. My max facilities once they would just expenses for no good reason. Scouting department, again, don't need this. You can scout 2 drivers as standard. So, and let's face it, you're just gonna need 2 drivers, so you don't need a lot of scouts. The operation center, boardroom, again, race confidence gain, team attractiveness. Again, both of these feel kind of useless, so I don't really touch this. Hospitality, same. Don't really touch this. Weather center, it's very nice to have to level 5. Again, it's the only one that I'm allowing myself to upgrade to level 5. Simply because the forecast accuracy. I kind of would like it that the forecast accuracy was changed to work in 2 ways. The higher level your weather center, the earlier in the race you know that, oh, it's going to rain. And the more accurate the period. But it basically make it so that the high level weather center upgrades the prediction to be more accurate, but also more often. Helipad is just straight up nice. It's extra money, so I'd recommend getting this one higher up as well. Memorabilia, again, another one that isn't super important. The tour center, you can make money of it, but again, it's basically breaking even, so there's no need to waste money. Even to break even, you're gonna have to play quite a few seasons. So there aren't too many facilities that are like super important to focus on, in my opinion. Yeah, the weather forecast is a bit extreme. Like, even if you don't have the best level, I don't see any current F1 team being completely blindsided by 5 laps worth of, you know, difference in when the rain arrives. I feel like it should just be a level 1, just they'll be fairly accurate. But a level 5 should just be, oh, I know exactly the second it's going to start raining, for instance. Financial report, I don't think we're good. We have 50 million in the bank. We're exceeding expectations. Board is happy with the Hungary. I'm not. So we can live with that. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. We have manufactured suspension. Honestly, the board being in poor condition is not an issue. Let's just have a quick look here. Side pods are good. Let's make 1 rear wing. And we don't need to manufacture any front wings because we'll be making new ones for Belgium. Team up has been upgraded. What's that to level 2? No, level 1. Let's get it up to level 2. The braking, cornering for the drivers. Driver stats. Braking, cornering, reactions. They're basically your most important ones, I'd say. I'd say reactions, honestly. And after that, you're getting more into the accuracy and control aspects. Overtaking and defending are nice, but again, I feel like the car is more important and just generally having pace. So I'd say go reactions, and then you can, after that, start balancing your accuracy and control. And then maybe go adaptability to be an all-rounder even when it's wet. Let us see here. We got the rear wing manufactured. Fine. Sorry about that. Chassis will be made in the day. Okay, we're looking good then. We'll be making new front wings. Side pods are good. Underflow's good. We're actually caught up on parts now. That's good. lagging for some reason. I think my internet dropped out there for a second because I have a bunch of dropped network frames according to OBS. I'll have a look at the stream, see if it's stable on my end. This might cost a little bit extra lag though. Honestly, not taking the penalties of a season is good, but I wouldn't be worried about taking a few. There's no like penalties for it. Yeah, the stream seemed to be okay on my end, which is kind of a risk of opening because it takes YouTube is starting to take a lot of resources for some reason. Okay, rear wing manufactured, nice. Chassis manufactured. That means we're all caught up. Beautiful. Front wing has been finished. We'll make 6 of those. I just prefer to have 6 made. That way we have them lying around. And with that, we can actually start a new design. So there's no need to wait with making a rear wing. We have already used our ATR period on it, so making a new one is actually beneficial. As you can see, the basis one will give us a huge amount of stats. Yeah, I'd say it's better to take an extra engine for performance. Same with, and when you take an extra engine, you can take an extra ERS, an extra gearbox too, just to be safe. That is, of course, if you don't have money concerns. But generally, money isn't a huge problem. Like, you might need to consider it when you're upgrading stuff, but once you reach your preferred levels of upgrades, then money will just be flooding in. And you will potentially become a billionaire. But yeah, we've already used CTF winter allows on rear wing, so we're gonna have to just do it normally. And I believe we could go for high-speed performance here for this one. Yeah, that's correct, Kieran. I use very bad parts for practice, no problem. Do I want to go low speed, maybe? I think it's the low speed we're lacking the most, honestly. This was kind of equalize our parts. We'd be number 1 in acceleration. I think we'll go low speed on the rear wing for this iteration, honestly. Because it'll help us out the most. We're still getting a decent gain on the high speed. And we could rush this rear wing too. Have it done in 28 days. You got one down to 15, then go scared. Yeah, they'll give you a lot of warnings, but again, I think it would be more of a concern if mechanical DNFs was the thing. Like your engine blowing up mid-race or mid-practice, mid-quali. But currently that isn't implemented, and one of the reasons why I think it isn't implemented is because the AI can't change them properly. Yeah, I think we're going to do this. We will just go ahead and rush the project. I think that is worth it. We still have got 80 million left of the cost cap. This will give us some better parts. We won't get it in time for Belgium. So yeah, I wanted to check. Yeah, you can use it on to 0%. That's not a problem. Yeah, you can't DNF from it. Like, you'll have lower performance, but there's no mechanical DNFs. There's no big concerns that way. 28 days. Okay, so 10 days after Belgium. That's the wrong one. Calendar. Yeah, so we're getting it here. That's actually perfect. We have a new ATR period starting. But that means two races before we get the new rear wing up. And I believe that's monster, so that's good. Yeah, it's one of those things that are kind of lacking. But I understand that some people don't like the randomness of it. But I feel like it should be a part of the game. It is a part of the of it in actuality, so bit of a shame. Let us upgrade the Veta Center to 5. Such a random thing. Bergovich development, all 3 here in braking. Still gonna need to level him for probably quite a bit more before he becomes a Schumacher replacement potentially. Do we have any new gens of interest here? Kavanek. Not a new gen. Oh yeah, I was gonna do the practice without the cheat sheet. I'll do that on this next one, see where we end up. Q3, Q2. I think both drivers should be doable. I think only one for Q3 here. We do not want to go for fastest lap. Qualifying position streak. Let's just take top 10, 5 races. Play it safe. And let's head to the Belgium Grand Prix. P5 with Gasly. First race, that's pretty good. That's a great result, honestly. Let's see, let's get the car pass fitted first before I forget. Guess we are gonna just use this gearbox up completely. There we are. And the presets here, what do we basically want? We want top speed on this race for sure. Let's do it like so. Fix this one a little bit. Let's try that for get-go. I'm also just doing... I'm not even trying to think about what the numbers are in this case. So I'm just doing it kind of randomly. Just so you can see that you can actually get good results by just randomly sliding them. Power takeover only catch. You do a Red Bull Academy new driver. Okay. That sounds kind of interesting though. See where we end up with the setups. 88, 77. Again, we are pretty close, but just kind of them randomly. We're kind of lacking here. You can see we did go a bit too hard on the oversteer, Schumacher. That is again something we can fix fairly easily. We did hit an optimal, potentially 2 optimals here. Probably need to change that a little bit, but that should be okay for now. Cornering is lacking. That can easily be fixed. We hit an optimal for oversteer. Great for the other one. Let's try that. Be okay. And we have now completely destroyed another gearbox for Schumacher. I'm looking forward, partner, to hearing how your Red Bull Driver Challenge is going to go. The Driver Academy. Who's the next one you're thinking of picking up? After the contract runs out? 96. We're kind of still lacking on Schumacher. Because the AI will randomly tweak it as well. Yeah, the AI kind of tweaked that one. So we can, worst case scenario, just set it up for quali. Like so. That should be acceptable, I think. Tweak that a little bit, like so. There we are. So the only thing that happens if you do it like this is basically it's going to take a longer time and you might not get as good results, but it's still not difficult to get a good setup confidence. Like we didn't use cheat sheet, 95, 97. It's still around the same. You'll have more opportunities of getting lower ones, but as long as you take the track into consideration, it isn't super difficult. Halger and Yuki, then Vips. That sounds good. Sounds like you have everything planned out already, which is nice. Let's use an older engine here. And as I said, we might just go ahead and take penalties here for Schumacher. And to be fair, for quali, we probably should just use the fresh one. It doesn't take much out of an engine for quali. And we can switch it for the race. I did forget to slap on the new front wings, didn't I? That's a shame. I guess we can do that anyways. So yeah, the new front wings are going to put us... It's actually going to give us a top speed upgrade. It's funny. But it's going to give us a little bit more cornering. We have kind of been lacking that. We're currently the 5th best team. So getting our cornering up is going to be nice. But it is a shame that I just now remember that we had made them. Because now we don't get the extra points from parts. That's just how things be. Again, let's change mix engine to a fresh one. Give him a little bit better chance in qualifying. And as I said, we might just go ahead and take penalties for both drivers here. We'll see.
Radio check.
Radio's good.
I think I'll finish this race and then probably call it a night. It is starting to get later. We are making good progress, honestly. I dare say. Which is good.
Someone's run wide.
That was one heck of a roadblock there for Ocon to get through. 2.7 seconds off the pace. Magnussen looking good here. I think Schumacher's safe too, so we're just gonna power through. It's basically a bug, Kieran, where if a driver can't enter the pits because there's a car in the way, they will do another lap. But they don't have enough fuel for said lap, and then they just run out of fuel. It's just an annoying bug. It's unfortunate, but that's just what it is. So one way to kind of be safe for that. Also with a spin, should be safe though. Yeah. The only way to be safe from that is to just run them out at the. They said they patched that, but I've had that happen several times. Just in this playthrough too. So they said they patched it. They said it in the patch notes too, but it still happens, unfortunately. I think to be fair though, the thing they would patch is the driver just continuing. So the new issue is that if the driver gets blocked now, he will still also run out of fuel. If I remember correctly. So it's they patched one of the sources of the problem, but it's still happening. Guess there was more than one. Unfortunately.
Radio check, Kevin.
Radio's good.
Usually, as long as you just send your drivers out immediately, and at the end, you are for the most part safe. I think I had Schumacher not finish a qualifier 3 times so far this season. So, it's happened a lot, honestly. Schumacher might actually be in danger. I think Magnussen is safe. I'm gonna gamble on Magnussen being safe. Paris was sent out real early there.
We've just had a car run wide.
Leclerc running wide. Schumacher, are you gonna be safe? Nope. Still lacking a little bit. 11th, unfortunately. Magnussen 8th so far. Lewis Hamilton with penalties. I think we take penalties for Schumacher, yeah, just straight up, for sure. We might also take them for Magnussen because, as I said, we are getting new underfloor, we are getting new rear wing. That'll help us out. P9, P11, that's not bad. Let's start you off on the scrubs. Then we'll do a fresh run at the end.
Ready check, Kevin.
Radio's good.
AlphaTauri, isn't they ranked like 6th or 5th? It should be a very solid midfield team, especially in a player's hand. They are running very close to these pairs. Hopefully no one gets pit issues.
Who's running wide there?
Paris once again just going early, doesn't want to get in trouble. I was considering playing Alpha at 1.2 partner just to see how quickly I could beat out Red Bull. Can bot as... Nah. 6th is not bad. That said, I think we'll take penalties here again. Just get the penalties over with. We probably can make it up to 7th and 8th again, maybe, like we did in... What's it called? Hungary? Hungaroring? And I'd be happy with that, honestly, yeah, if we take penalties. There's been a 100% chance of safety car. There's also a very short pit lane. Softs aren't really that much better than mediums, as you can see. In terms of practice performance, 210s, mediums would be preferable to hards, basically. So soft to medium is a potential thing here, as you can see. And we might have a safety car too. So what I'm thinking is that we start both drivers on the soft to medium strategy. And then we make changes depending on potential safety cars. Because as I said, I think we just take penalties for both of them. We get extra components here. I don't think we'll need an extra ERS, but if he crashes, we are. So let's just get it all out of the way. Engines, we don't really need to. But if we're taking penalties anyways, we might as well just eat it. Eat it, so to speak. And again, we are going to just take all the penalties here, because that was the plan. Would it be smarter to take one penalty? Probably, but as I said, we do have... Crap, I haven't used this gearbox, that's my mistake. We're going to have to take a penalty later then too. I thought I already got that set up earlier. That I unfortunately did not. So we're gonna suffer a bit. But yeah, I think we're gonna go for this. And we'll see if we can make... Excuse me. Make up the places.
It's sunny. Get ready. It's the Belgian Grand Prix.
Ferrari front line, Haas back line.
And it's lights out and away we go.
Lights out, away we go. There is a lot of soft runners by the looks of things. We only have 3 medium runners, the rest are on softs. I would assume everyone in top 10 then, because their softs are already used, are gonna be going to the hard. So that's gonna be interesting. And for Schumacher, we're just gonna tune him down to neutral to see if Magnussen can make it past first battle. And crew. I don't think I've changed them too much. Like if we have a quick look in graphics, they're on high, the high preset. I don't remember if I tuned it down at one point, but I am running high settings all around. It looks good enough for me. I'm scared. I'm seeing a boy next to us. Oh yeah, I tuned down Magnussen, not Schumacher. I did it the wrong way around. They really are competing with each other, eh? High looks better than Ultra. That would be hilarious if they've, you know, made a kind of mistake like that. The Schumacher is just struggling even with overtake button, so we're gonna give it to Magnussen. We have a yellow. Oh.
Oh, we've had a spin.
Bottas was roadblocking Schumacher there. That's just unlucky.
They've locked up and gone straight on.
Gasly locked up too. He's fine though. We'll see how this climbing challenge goes. See if we can get in the points. Because it does seem like we're struggling a little bit here with the overtakes. As I say that, Magnussen just gets Vettel and maybe even Stroll here immediately too.
Haas with an overtake there. Let's take a look at the replay. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here.
Gets him on the inside. Pretty nice. DRS has been enabled. Might help us a little bit here. We can put overtake for Schumacher now too. Is that now that they no longer compete with each other. Go, Magnussen got Stroll. Next up, Latifi.
Haas with an overtake.
And I'm wondering, we'll see how Schumacher can do. The Red Bulls, the Ferraris, they're kind of just running away with it, which is honestly what you'd expect. We are kind of struggling to overtake here, I'll be honest. Ocon and Bottas
A new race position for Haas.
did some shenanigans.
Sounds like a spin.
Ocon with a spin. I guess we blocked
Here's
Bottas.
the replay. Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon. That looked like a very nasty spin. That's going to be a big blow.
The fact that we're struggling with overtaking Latifi is worrisome. Let's see what's happening here. Looks like using overtake helps.
Keep that up.
Schumacher is kind of running down low on energy here, so we might need to harvest for a little bit. Not been the best of race starts for us. Those are lap times. 50.6 for Magnussen. 48 for Leclerc. Sorry, for Schumacher. 49.2 for Magnussen. So he is gaining on everyone up to, again, the top two there. The top two teams. Schumacher gets Vettel. Very good. Stroll next. We've had a crash. Car in the wall. Tsunoda by looks of things. Oh, and then we
can take a look now. Now just focus on the Haas. And yes, that's where they spin out.
Ay, ay, ay.
The team are really disappointed with
We
that.
lost one
Let's hope
position
it
though,
doesn't set them back
so
too badly. I think that was a crash.
not the worst thing.
Let's take a closer look.
But it's
Now
still
look at
disappointing
this.
how
It was the
often
Alpha
Magnussen
Tauri
runs,
driver involved.
you know, runs wide, spins, things like that. We might need to just put in a little bit extra coolant for his car.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
Yeah, we need to fight Latifi, the king. There we go. Just give it a little bit of overtake. Bit of a shame there with the spin, honestly.
Haas with an overtake there.
But yeah, Russell is kind of just doing his own thing. Perez is lagging a little bit behind the other three. It's gonna be interesting to see if we can make something something work for us. Unfortunately, we didn't get a safety car with the crash over here. Latifi pitting. Let me guess, onto hards. Yeah. I assume a lot of people are going to go from soft to hards here. Schumacher goes Stroll. Good. And Magnussen is now starting to catch up to Albon, Ricciardo, Gasly. The question is just, do we have enough speed to get the overtake done? Because if not, we're just going to have to harvest for a little bit. And then we can use overtake. A lot of pitting is happening. Put him back to neutral. In terms of pit stops, most of them have gone on to hards here. Well, all of them who have pitted have gone on to the hard. So it's going to be interesting to see if this medium Stradivarius actually pays off. Because these softs are going to suffer for the last next 3 laps here. Like, really suffer. We are still doing decent lap times, but look at Hamilton behind us. That's scary. So yeah, we definitely do need to get fresh tires on fairly soon. Russell still hasn't pitted though, has he? Nah, he's running mediums, so we're perfect there. We haven't actually had any red flags BKK this time. We did have a very, very disappointing Austria race though, where Magnussen binned it more than once, unfortunately. I think we're safe doing the same for Schumacher, just get him in. So yeah, we potentially lost the victory in Austria due to driver errors. Mick is still working very, very hard on his deconstructed championship title. Tires are severely overheating, but we are getting rid of them, so we can live with that. Magnussen is going to come out pretty far back, unfortunately. Well, some of them are pitting with him, so not the worst ever. 3.4, not the greatest pit stop. Let's see here. Bottas still needs to pit. But other than that, we're kind of looking good. We still need to catch up to Norris. 11 seconds. I think we're okay. I think we'll be fine, honestly. We're getting an underfloor upgrade after this race. We are getting our rear wing upgrade after that one. And that will basically put us into a very, very competitive position, honestly. So I'm not too worried. Just a shame that we had an opportunity in Austria and we kind of binned it. It's all. I'm thinking Magnussen should get by purely by DRS here. Bottas is now pitting. Schumacher should be able to get battle. Schumacher's on attack, yeah. Yeah, I've tuned him down now. Thank you for reminding me, though. I did allow him to run a little bit longer than he should have. Russell is now pitting, but yeah, we have no chance of getting Russell before he's done in the pits. No way. So yeah, I think, again, the goal here is going to be maybe 7th and 8th. And we'd be happy with that. Change mic for show? Yeah. Honestly, we had an opportunity to change mic for Bottas. So that was... But yeah, I'm going to stick with these drivers for now. And I'll make a decision after the season if we keep mic or not. Change mic for show. Got a 1-2 in Singapore. Yeah. Weather can really be a big chaos. Got a screen somewhere. The other races being random could be interesting for sure. Magnussen, are you closing in on show? Closing in by almost a full second to everyone up to Norris. So yeah, we're running about the same times as the Mercs. Schumacher and Bottas. Bottas is doing very well though. Like, he did surprisingly well last race. So Schumacher just gonna have to hang on there, I think. We do have full ERS though, so we can start to make some moves. If Schumacher has the speed to potentially cause some problems with his ERS. Magnus is still just slowly chipping away at the lead of show, so that's fine. Once it gets to show, we have all the way up to Norris that we can potentially fight for. Could potentially deploy some ERS just to try and speed things along. And then recharge behind show for Alonso. I think we do that. Mick still can't really get a move made here. Verstappen with a spin. Won't really matter too much for our race, that is.
Haas with an overtake.
I'm thinking we keep the same drivers or go for new gens. Mostly just, as I said, again, challenge. But I'm a bit undecided on that. I'll make a decision after the end of the season, seeing where we stand, like what I can expect from the next season. Let's see, how was the last lap? 46.9, so yeah, 1.2 seconds gained. But Alonso has fallen a bit behind Norris, which is not the greatest thing I've ever seen. I'll be honest. Compared to the crash in the wall. Bottas. Haas had an accident. Just the yellow flag though, right? Yeah, Bottas is back and running. So yeah, I'm a bit unsure, but for this season, we're not going to do any research. And I'll see next season. Maybe the limiting will be maximum 2 parts made a season. But when we do Williams, we're going to have a lower starting point, which might keep it a bit more interesting for at least one more season. So again, gonna have to see. We're also going to have potentially worse drivers in Stroll and Latifi. So that should also keep it a bit more fun. Yeah, so Magnussen has caught up now to show. We do have a little bit of ERS we can use. See if we can make it up a position or two. Let's harvest a bit. We are running low. Mick is just doing his best, trying to hunt down Rick. That should be alright. Tire-wise, we are starting to get a bit low. We might struggle a little bit against the hards. But we are also almost done with the race. So we're going to have to start trying to make some moves fairly soon.
So overtake is available if you need it.
Copy.
Overtake is indeed available. Let's see if we can make something work here. Mick is getting closer to Rick too. We'll be within DRS, maybe a lap or two. But let's see if we can also fight him into the points. Problem is just the DRS train. Even though it's just 2 cars, it's still difficult. Push a bit fuel. Probably do the same for Mick here. We got some to spare. Sector 2, yellow.
Sounds like
Yeah,
we've had a spin.
we're really struggling with just overtaking. As you can see. Have a bit of show what we want to do here. We could try and use a bit of tire life, but again, they're just barely gonna make it to the end there. So one of those things that are a bit concerning to do. Probably deploy a little bit of ERS for Shoot Me too. It looks like he isn't properly using his ERS to actually gain a bit of an advantage. That is also worrisome. Yeah, it looks like the tires might have reached the point where we're gonna start struggling. Should have tried to make some moves a bit earlier. Still got some ERS to play with though, so if we can make it past show, we might be able to do something. Gonna have to tune down the fuel usage though with just 6 laps to go.
No ERS.
Used a bit too much there for Mick. But he is now within DRS. But looks like he's out of the points, unfortunately, for this one. Had a hope, but tires fell off a bit harder than I expected. I do know the low fuel range is getting low. That's okay. I guess what we do is harvest, and then we go for an attack on like the last lap or something. If we can make up a place or two.
Is that a new
I don't think we have
position
too many
for
other
Haas?
choices or options here, really. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed after this one too. Good night, Kieran. It is 11 PM. Okay, we are at last lap. You have fallen a bit further behind. We've had a crash on track, sector 3. Doesn't look like it affected the
We've had a
race. Bottas crash again. Unlucky. He's learned a little bit too well from Mick. Tires are in the dead zone now. So we're just gonna gamble and push.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. There's
Couldn't
been a
really make
crash.
anything happen, unfortunately. Bit disappointing, particularly considering the earlier races, but I think we'll start doing better now. We should have an underflow coming up. It will help us out a lot. Ferrari, Red Bull, Ferrari, Red Bull. It's a point, but I wish we'd gotten more. To be fair, Mercedes 5-6. Norris scoring points is quite impressive. Alonso getting points is good. Driver Championship, no real changes. And the constructor, we have no real changes. Mercedes running a little bit ahead of us again, but there's 8 races to go. Our car is starting to look a lot better. So, I think it's fine, honestly. We've had worse races. And no bonus payouts, so we have a lot more money. But then again, money doesn't really matter. Underflow has been made as well. Get Magnussen appointed braking. And we'll get that underfloor manufactured. And ready for... Just one ready for the next race, unfortunately. Another restriction we're using is no emergency manufacture. And it makes it a bit more realistic in my opinion. Although rushed is still not great to use. Melvin has some development points. I should probably have done this earlier. High speed downforce. Let's go. Race engineer. Let's upgrade the pit crew. Should have been upgrading my technical chiefs a bit sooner. Honestly. Promote Drogovic? Maybe. I'm still undecided. Difficult race. They aren't too happy about that one. It's fair. Team hub has been upgraded. Front wing manufacturing complete. And I believe we now have one underfloor. Onto car development. Not the greatest. Race prep for the Dutch Grand Prix. Can get that done. Get everything prepped for next session. Just gonna do it easy like so. Fastest lap, don't think so. Qualifying streak is good. And before I forget, we're going to go to the warehouse. We're going to figure out the new underfloor. And as we can see here, it does improve our spec quite a bit. This new underfloor will put us in the main top 3 for top speed. It's on a team basis, so the 3rd best team. Depending on how young and how unskilled, up to versus Verstappen. Let's say if we take Verstappen and we take a 40-50 regen, that's going to be a good 3 seconds per lap. 60 regen is probably 2.5 seconds. So if you consider 10 at points average in pace stats, you're still going to suffer quite a bit. Yeah, I tested it with like a 40 versus a 99, and that was close to 3 seconds a lap. So it's basically, I think it might actually be a challenge to try and win, even with min-maxing, to try and win a championship with a 40 average driver. But yeah, top speed was up to 3rd place. That's good. 4th place low speed. 3rd place medium, and then high speed cornering, which is actually important for the next race here. It's going to be great. Still lacking a bit of acceleration, but again, rear wing is going to help that. So it's going to work. I will be streaming again tomorrow, Pano, I think. I'm a bit unsure exactly when though. Probably in the evening again. I am thinking of getting things done. Thank you, Senna, for the car setup, but I'm gonna end it here. I'm just prepping it for tomorrow. So we shall install that on car 2, which should be K-Mike's car. And we have a look now on how his car looks compared to others. Let's go for Red Bull first. Have a look. We're not lacking too much in the top speed department. We're almost equal. We're equal with them on acceleration. We beat them in high speed. But yeah, we are still lacking DRS. We're still lacking some cornering. But we're already getting really, really close. Feel like that the second time, yeah. And compared to Ferrari, we still only have acceleration and high speed on them, but still top speed is just 0.02. Cornering is a little bit more lacking, but I believe the rear wing will bring this very, very close. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the car looks after the next upgrade, which will be the rear wing here after the Dutch Grand Prix. Did I actually start a new piece, or I forgot to start a new piece? That's good. The new project. Yeah, we are already very competitive on paper, for sure. Let's see. Second piece. we go race performance, we get a little bit of a booster and everything. Do I want to make side pods and put the... I think we do. We're going to make side pods. Race performance side pods, which is usually just, I think, the best one. The cooling is going to suffer, but at this point it's still an upgrade. And we're going to put the next CFD and MAO hours into the suspension. And we'll just do intense. I'll have to see though, because right now, if I limit myself to 2 extra parts, we will be able to make one more chassis. We're done with making front wings. We'd be able to make the rear wing. That's coming out soon. And then we'll be done. Making the last side pod. We made the underfloor. So I can't actually make one more suspension then, because this is the 3rd iteration. I am manufacturing more underfloors, yeah. Making 4 of them. The problem is just that it takes time, and I'm not emergency manufacturing them. But yeah, I'll have a think until tomorrow and see if we allow ourselves to make more pieces. What I'm thinking that we might do is that, say that for the big 3, underfloor, rear wing, front wing, I'm only allowed to make 2 pieces a season. Or maybe even nerf it to just 1. And then see how far we can get with just the chassis, the side pods, and the suspension, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I think we're going to end it here. It's been a good session. Bit unfortunate racing today. Bit of a demolition derby. But honestly, it's been good. Thank you for being here, BKK. It's been fun. So yeah, big thanks to everyone watching. It's been fun with chatting with you all. And I'm really enjoying the game right now. So I'll continue this Haas save tomorrow. I'm a bit unsure when exactly I'm going to stream. But I'll have a look when I wake up tomorrow and decide on a time. I'll post it on Discord. And I'll post a update on my YouTube channel. Basically, just saying when. Hope you all have fun. I had. And hope to see you again tomorrow. Good night, Bugmare. Good night, Razek. Good night, everyone.